he just said that if it doesn't stop or whatever, it just magically keeps going. I just wanted to point out to him, it actually does have a motor attached to it that does keep it going. It actually does stop relatively quickly if they only move with their hands.
Okay,
so no, it's for a little while if you only move with your hand.
Okay,
it does have a motor attached to it.
Hey,
just to confirm,
guys, I'm listening to the conversation right now, and the reason I'm coming in here is there's a lot of stuff happening. Welcome everybody to the chat. There's a lot of new people. There's a lot of people listening. It's good stuff. I'm listening. But what type of fallacy have people committed when they talk about the Foucault's pendulum? Anybody know?
Begging the question.
It's called affirming the consequent. You guys know what that means? Anybody?
No, could you guys enlighten us?
I do.
No, please.
It means you're already making an assumption that the Earth's curved and spinning, and then you've got another thing which is trying to prove your assumption with an assumption.
Correct. So there's a lot to deal with here and to unpackage, but most of the things that you're doing with Foucault's pendulum and any kind of apparatus or device, depending on what it is, it's going to make the assertion of something of what the Earth is doing. But we're dealing with fallacy here, which means that it's begging the question of what supposedly that device is supporting, right? And we can point to because the pendulum precesses, right? You can put it in a logical statement. Because the pendulum precesses, the Earth is spinning. The Earth is spinning, therefore the pendulum precesses. But when in all reality, it could be something else.
What do you mean precesses?
So when the pendulum is moving back and forward and all around, like whichever way direction it's moving towards, then it's precessing. That's what the pendulum does. That's what it's doing when you see it moving around. It's precessing. Did I lose everybody?
What does processing mean, bro?
Wait.
All right. So we seem to be off on the wrong foot. We're talking about things that we don't know, especially if you're advocating for the globe. And I'm coming in here just to make sure that everybody's on track, right? So all three of you guys right now, Owlishness, Ganso, and Fauda, you have the idea that the Earth is a globe, right? Currently?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to have all three of you keep your mics open, and in a team effort, you can help each other out. But we're going to do this together, right? To make sure that you know what you know. So we can start. We can take it from the top. And by this knowledge, I'm going to know, and so is the rest of the listening audience, if you know the Earth is actually a globe or if it's not a globe, right? Because you're going to be able to tell us. Pretty simple things. 3 tenets that support the Earth being a globe. And the first one is, like I said, you can help each other out. It doesn't matter to me. But I would like you to say, I don't know, when you really, really don't know, because this is considered a pretty tough method when it concerns to you bringing up the information for what I'm going to ask for. 3 things that you can write these down if you want to, so you can make sure that you answer this sufficiently. I'm going to need primary source, number 1. Number 2, I'm going to need a citation where it was said. And number 3, I'm going to need a demonstration. Okay, this is what I'm going to ask you guys. I'm going to require this from the question that I'm going to ask you, all 3 of you. And so long as you support them correctly, we'll be doing great. Once again, if you don't know, just say, I don't know. And we'll move forward, because that's intellectual honesty. I will find out, however, if you don't know. If you start to fumble around with the answer and you start to give me vague answers or things that are not precise, I will be able to hone in on that, because I'm very good at that. All right, so I'm gonna hand this to you guys. The first question, all 3 of you, is simply this. Who has measured the curvature of the Earth any time in history? Because it's said to be a globe for at least about 2,500 years. So we need to know all the way back to primary source who's actually discovered that they've measured the drop over distance, right? Because according from the globe perspective, we have some metrics. So if you type in, how big is the radius of the Earth, it's going to spit out a number on Google. So it's public information. Everybody knows this. So what we're going to do now is get to the facts. We're going to figure out how you guys know, everybody here who's advocating for the globe, how the Earth has this drop over distance measured, from where it begun. So we're going to get some information from you. So curvature is the first question. How do we know in any time in history that someone's measured the curvature of the Earth? And take turns if you'd like, but I want to know from you guys how that answer is going to be sufficient with primary source, citation, and then demonstration. Go ahead. The floor is your guys.
Are you
Yes,
talking about
yes, coach.
Eratosthenes? Who measured the curvature?
I will give no help. The only thing that I'll tell you is that if you don't know, I'm going to tell you you don't know, because there is correct information to guide you. So go ahead. Ganso, I think Fauda, I think is your name, and owlishness. Go ahead. Take turns, please.
Right. The radius of the Earth that you have described is 3,959 miles, right? That's
That's
radius
correct.
of the Earth? Yes.
The question once again, remember the question. Who has measured the curvature of the Earth any time in history? Go ahead.
Eratosthenes.
Okay. Do you guys agree, Ganso and Fauda? Or do you have a different answer?
No, I agree with my queen.
Fauda?
Yeah, bro, couldn't agree more.
I don't know if I'm
Okay.
saying his name correctly, but
The name is, I know what you're implying, so go ahead and tell me why that is your answer. Because remember, primary source, citation, where it said that, so I need the primary source. So you said that's your primary source. Now what is the citation for that? Please post it in the live stream voice text.
And demonstration, please.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute, Kim. Yeah, we're working our way there.
me
So
demonstrate.
citation. I know.
The demonstration be in the citation?
This is
No,
clever
go ahead.
misdirection away from what we were
No, this
previously
isn't.
talking about.
No, this isn't clever misdirection. What it is, owlishness is
Here you go,
exposing.
everything you need to know.
It's exposing. Listen, guys, it's exposing your knowledge as to how much you know correctly if the Earth is a globe or not. So we're all going to find out currently. If you don't want to answer the question, that's fine. We will understand that you have no knowledge on this.
Okay.
So this is what it's doing. It's showing. It's giving you.
This is
Giving you owlishness. It's giving you a
failable
mirror.
in every single way. However, because you're going to say, "Well, how can you demonstrate the curvature of the Earth?"
No.
I know where this is going. No, I know where this is going.
I know. That's the point of it.
Yeah,
But see, here's
I know.
the issue. Here's the issue, though, owlishness. Everybody who comes in here thinking that the Earth is a globe is full of pride and ego. They don't understand that they don't know what they don't know. And so if you avoid the question, you're locked in right now. If you drop out, if you say, "Oh, I'm not doing this," that's fine. You can go if you want. But everyone who's listening will understand that you have no knowledge of the very first question. So if you rage quit, you're going to show everybody that you're really ignorant about this topic, and especially the very first question. I didn't even gotten to the second or the third. So it behooves you to stay in here and actually stay in the fight, and if it's really something you're advocating for, to give what I'm asking for, and it's very simple. So go ahead if you do have that, because seems like you're the champion. Ganso and Fauda have just kind of leaned back and let you take lead. So what we're listening to is you actually are the one that has the spotlight on right now, not unless Ganso and Fauda want to chime in. It's up to them. But okay, so that was your primary source. Now we need a citation, please.
Which one would you like? I have
MLA or AP
Any?
format?
Well, if I give you Wikipedia, are you going to tell me it's not a good source?
I'm not going to say anything. I just want you to demonstrate your knowledge on the fact that you're showing me the primary source, citation, and now demonstration. You can help each other out.
All right,
Go
gang.
ahead.
What link did we put in the chat?
I can give
So
you.
this is your guys' knowledge. I can't help you on this.
There you go.
The team has got to find out what your guys' knowledge is.
Your source.
Clapped YouTube.
Yeah, you just wikied it. Okay, so now the primary source is Eratosthenes, and then we got the citation. Now,
There's
what is the
another one.
Go ahead.
Egghead. Cool.
Imagine the universe. Okay, so site is intended for students ages 14 and up. Okay, so now we're going to get to what did he provide evidence of. So the demonstration follows after that. The So go ahead and what has been done to demonstrate that?
I just posted what the guy with the very complicated name did.
Yeah, that's fine. But so now we're looking into the demonstration. So we're going to demonstrate how he provided evidence of the curvature of the Earth being demonstrated from drop over distance, and also
My fault.
no worries. How he supported the radius, diameter, and circumference. Because the geometric shape of the Earth is most important, right? Because obviously somebody figured it out. So we're saying this guy has, well, then we're going to find out if he has or not. So the demonstration now is going to proceed. So, owlishness, did you want to continue with showing us how he provided the evidence for that, the metrics? Or does Powder and Gansel want to chime in? It's up to you guys.
Yes, he found the curvature or the circumference of the Earth by observing stars in the sky and their relative distance and how they move across the sky during a single night or over a year, actually, because they are in different places during any particular year. The North Star...
No, go ahead. Keep on.
So, obviously, during different parts of the year, you can see different constellations. They're in different locations in the sky. Right? North Star is always in the same place because it's directly above us.
Yeah, what we're doing right now is just listening to you guys tell us. Gansel and Fauda, do you guys agree with what she's saying, or do you disagree? Okay. Continue, owlishness.
So you can determine the circumference of the Earth by, I guess, a mathematical equation of the location of the star at one point and then measuring it at a different point and a different point. I'm guessing there's some sort of mathematical equation for that. I don't know what it is. I'm not an astronomer or a mathematician.
So there it is. Thank you for the concession, but now I'm going to ask you to be honest with the chat and everybody listening. So the answer to this question is you don't know. Is this correct?
No, I gave you my understanding of what it is, but I don't know the math associated with it.
I know. So it's okay. It's a bit of what it does. It tumbles the pride. So I'm going to make you see if you're going to be honest with the chat. So you don't know.
No, I don't know.
I'll reiterate. Oh, okay. So you don't know. Ganso, do you know?
No.
How about Fauda?
Fauda knows.
Okay, so
I'm fine with saying I don't know.
Yeah, I know. That's the point of this exercise. What it's doing is exposing the information, whether you know that Earth is a globe or you don't. Whether it's something you know or it's a belief, rather, I should say. So the first question, who has measured the curvature of the Earth any time in history, was supported by the primary source you said is Eratosthenes, and then you got the second one, which is the citation. You showed me the wiki. The third one, the demonstration. It feels like we're falling short because you don't know. So I would just put it in the realm of that you guys don't know. If not, I'll continue to press, and you'll find it gets more difficult. So
that actually would be the third source that I posted.
Right, but what
I posted.
It needs to
the explanation.
Sure, but the information to stand up for whatever we're talking about needs to be supported by all three. So if we don't have a demonstration to provide, because
Can I read you what it says?
You can read. Go ahead.
Okay, in 200 BC, the size of the Earth was actually calculated to within 1% accuracy. Eratosthenes used Aristotle's idea that if the Earth was round, distant stars in the night sky would appear at different positions to observers at different latitudes. Eratosthenes knew that on the first day of summer, the sun passed directly overhead at Sinai's Egypt. Angular displacement of the sun from overhead of the Earth of the city of Alexandria, 5,000 stadias away from Syene. He found that the angular displacement was 7.2 degrees. There are 360 degrees in a circle, making 7.2 degrees equivalent to 1/50th of a circle. Geometry tells us that the ratio of 1/50th is the same as the ratio of the distance between Syene and Alexandria to the total circumference of the Earth Thus, circumference can be estimated by multiplying distance between two cities, 5,000 stadia, by 50, equaling 250,000 stadia.
Sure.
So that's
Okay.
the explanation.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
mainstream, and that's what it is. But it differs from what you were saying, beginning to tell me of what
Yeah,
what he
I
actually
only read
did.
a little bit of it, so.
Well, I know, but what I'm saying though, owlishness, is that because of the fact that you had this understanding of what he did, you started to tell me like it was a measurement of like the angles to the stars, and it wasn't that. What did it say here in contrary to what you just told me? Do you know, or can I point it out? It's up to you. We'll go over this.
This has to do with latitudes instead of angles.
But what did he use? Did he use the stars?
Yes.
No.
Was it a stick, bro?
No. What I'm saying, what he used in the sky.
Distant stars in the night sky would appear at different positions to observers at different latitudes.
No, it was the sun.
The sun is a star.
No, I know, but I know what you guys are gonna insert here, but like the fact that he's using the sun is different from the stars.
No,
of what her
it's the same thing.
The sun is a star.
Okay, so I'll ask you a simple question. What star looks like exactly like the sun does?
All of them.
Every star.
All of them.
Okay, so when you look at the sun, during the day, does it look like any of the stars? Be honest.
No.
Because it's closer.
Okay. No, that's not the point, though. The point is we're talking about what they look like.
Right.
And this is the information they've given you, me, and everybody else. They've told us this. If the sun is a star, the stars are the sun. Yeah, that's fine. But do they look like each other? No. That's the honest answer.
It's not actually the same thing, is it?
But no, we're not going to get into the minutia. It's going to derail where I'm going right now. So, but basically, what we're doing is just getting everybody to be honest with what we're saying. Mm-hmm. And if the observation matches, then we'll say it does. If not, then we'll be honest. It doesn't match. But they're telling us a story, is what I'm saying. That the stars are the sun, and you're basically just advocating for it. So, in the realm of observation, we don't see them looking like the same. The sun doesn't look like a star, and the stars don't look like the sun. So, but that's that for now. I want to table that because it's not the importance. So we're getting to the idea that the curvature of the Earth has been measured by this guy, and then we're going to say that supposedly you started to explain that it was dealt with the angles to the stars and constellations. This is not what he was doing with what he was actually trying to do with Alexander and Cyrene. So he's using the sun and also the thing that he's looking at, right? His observation was of shadows, okay? And the angles to those shadows in the different locations. So it varied from the answer you were giving me. So once again, you didn't know this until you started maybe reading the mainstream rhetoric, and now it makes it a little bit more apparent that you were saying something different. And so what I'm pointing out here is that you didn't know this information, not even just the information, but how it was done. So the demonstration is kind of the bit where you're starting to fumble around, and that's fine. You don't know, nobody does, I would say. But if you want to continue down this path, it's going to get a little bit more difficult for everyone. So I would just rather take the concession that you don't know, because I'll ask more leading questions, and it's going to get, like I said, a bit more harder to answer. And it's just basically your information, so I'd rather hear you say you don't know versus me actually expose all the reasons why you don't know. It's easier that way for everybody. So would you want to continue and use him as an example? Because I can continue to show you why it's not the correct way. Up to you.
Yeah, what's the next question?
Okay, so the concession from owlishness, saying that she doesn't know in the first one, who has measured the curvature of the Earth in any time in history? I'll take that. Gonzo, how about you? Do you concede or do you want to continue?
No, I'll continue. We march on.
Okay. Fauda, how about you? Do you want to concede or do you want to continue?
No, but I'm with the gang. We keep going.
Yeah, so concede means that you're going to give up the position that you know. That's what it means. Okay, Gonzo, do you... No, Kenzo doesn't concede, so he's in opposition to owlishness and Fauda.
Wait, I concede.
Okay, so he concedes too. All right, that's fine. Well, we'll save for the first question. That's fine. The second question is pretty simple, right? The spin of the Earth, or axial rotation. So we're going to get to the bit where how we understand that the Earth is spinning on its axis. Now, in any time in history, I'll ask the same requirements. Let me just go through the spiel. So, any time in history, who has measured the axial rotation happening on the Earth? Anyone. Just remember, primary source, citation, and the demonstration of how we understand that the Earth is spinning on its axis, because the Earth is said to be spinning at 1,000 miles per hour at the equator. So people know this information. So there's a bit of more information that you could probably look into. But as I'm saying this, you can look it up. You phone a friend, talk to each other in the DMs, but see who's figured it out, right? Who has measured the spin of the Earth or axial rotation any time in history? And then let's go through how it's been done that we figured that out. The spin of the Earth. Go ahead.
That would be what I mentioned earlier, the Foucault pendulum.
Okay. Ganso, would you agree?
Yeah.
Or would you have a different answer?
No, it's the pendulum. Yeah.
Auda.
Yeah.
Okay, so everybody agrees a pendulum is what's the apparatus or the device that's used.
Mm-hmm.
So how does the pendulum provide evidence? So I need primary source, citation, and then demonstration. Very first person. Where did it originate from?
Oh, the very first person? Okay, well, I'll get the demonstration.
Well, the first person would be Foucault, of course, right?
Yeah.
Right, yeah, I didn't want to say anything, Helio. Thank you for ruining the...
Well, I mean, I said Foucault's pendulum. Who did you think made it?
I don't know. I'm asking you the question. You got to respond to me. But if you're not, if you're not the Glover, please put yourself on mute, because I know
name for it.
I'm asking you the questions. You have to provide the answer. People don't know this, owlishness. So Helio just gave you a free one. That's fine.
There you go.
Okay, sure. I didn't just go on a huge... I didn't just talk about it for like the past 20 minutes.
I'm telling you, people don't understand. Well, okay, that's fine. Okay, so I need the citation also. Go ahead, put the citation. Please resist the temptation, flat earthers, for jumping in. Like, I know feels like you guys are chomping at the bit. Like, you want to, I know. Just let me go walk these guys through this.
They wouldn't let me do it earlier, but.
All right. Don't see a citation. Ganso and Fauda?
Somebody else posted a citation yet? Okay.
No, they're waiting for you to do it, owlishness. So I guess you're doing the heavy lifting tonight. Yeah, guys, come on.
I'll
let one person take it.
Fauda
and Ganso, we're not getting much from you, are we?
Isn't this how group projects go in college? One
I want this to be a group project.
Yeah. There you go. Sites, sources.
Yeah. There you go. Citations are popping up. Okay, so primary source, citation. Let's see what we got. Fauda, you got a Britannica. Owlishness, do you agree with their citations? I need to know if you're agreeing. If you guys are in agreement, we're gonna use something that you guys are putting up here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so citation and now the demonstration part.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the demonstration? What are we looking at here?
There's a video. It's a time lapse. There's a time lapse video.
Okay, go ahead.
Are you watching the video?
No, I meant go ahead and explain. Like, what do you mean? Like, there's a video here, but what I'd like you to do, because you've seen it, right, and it supports what you're saying, go ahead and tell us why. Go into detail, please, as much as you can, as to why this apparatus is going to tell us about the Earth's rotation.
So, as you can see in the video, if you're watching it, the pendulum is slowly swinging back and forth, but it's moving in accordance to how the Earth would rotate. So you can see behind it that there is a globe that is rotating, similarly to how the pendulum is swinging. It's knocking over, looks like, I don't know what those are. They're like little pieces of metal, showing that it is changing its direction as it's swinging. So the explanation for that would be that it's rotating. That the Earth is rotating and changing the direction of the pendulum.
Okay, so that's the explanation. You guys agree? Cancel, Fauda?
Yeah.
All right. Now, my question to you guys. is Earth spin the only thing that could be influencing the Foucault pendulum? I need your answers, all three of you.
Yes.
Owlishness?
You're asking if anything else could cause that to happen.
Yeah, the influencing that apparatus. Is anything else influencing that apparatus to move?
No.
I have to say
You have to be sure.
Yes.
I'm gonna hold you to your answer.
yes.
Okay, are you 100% sure that
Well,
nothing
there could
is
be
influencing?
something
I said yes.
influencing it.
I said
Yeah,
yes.
you said yes, Owlishness.
Okay.
No, I meant like no. Other than this.
Yeah, I agree with Owl, bro.
Yeah, bro. I'm out.
So nothing else other than the Earth spin is influencing that pendulum.
No, I said
You all-
there
Yes,
is.
we agree. Yes, we agree. There is
Yeah.
something.
There is something else other than Earth spin?
Yeah.
Okay, what else could be influencing the Foucault pendulum other than Earth spin?
Gravity.
So
Owlishness, do you agree? You guys don't. You gotta stay lockstep because I'm gonna hold you guys to what you're saying.
So
So-
the pendulum is, as I was discussing earlier,
Mhm.
it is not going to swing perpetually. So there is a motor that is attached to it in the ceiling that allows it to continue swinging for a, I guess, I'm not sure if it's a predetermined time or what could happen to make it, or how the motor actually affects the way it swings, but it does have to be started by somebody pushing it,
Mhm.
and then it continues to swing. I can't say it swings under its own power because that would
Well,
be completely false.
Did Foucault, when he
So-
originated the design, did he have an electronic motor that swung the pendulum?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
she
Yes.
don't know
It did.
that.
It did, but it was in the exact direction of its natural swing, so it did not sway it to any other direction
Alright.
except where it's
So
supposed to.
guys, let me take them like because I have to keep it kind of concise. I don't want to like waffle on too long with this.
Yeah. I
Sorry.
get you. I get you. Go ahead.
All right. So then, what we're understanding is that it's something else other than Earth spin is influencing the Foucault pendulum. Do you guys all agree?
Yeah.
It's not just Earth spin. We got other influences, and
Yeah,
I think
you have, earthquakes could affect it. Also, that would definitely affect whether or not it starts or stops swinging. That could affect. It can throw it off kilter. Like I mentioned, the motor does assist in the swinging of it, since obviously the energy it can't swing under its own power. So
Okay, so we don't see something in nature actually showing us the precession of a pendulum, like the actual motion of something that's. Is the pendulum attached to the Earth, or is it detached from the Earth? As in, does it have a separate reference frame?
it is attached to the Earth.
Okay, so it's like pretty much like combined to like connected to the Earth. Okay.
It is connected to the ceiling of the building, which is attached to the Earth. It is not free floating.
Okay, so if we had something free floating, because the pendulum is precessing, right? It's moving around. If something was free floating that was not attached to the Earth, would that show precession too? Would that be moving around? Do you think? Because we're using a pendulum as the example. So obviously the Earth's motion is influencing the pendulum's direction, correct? All right, so if this is true, then anything else that's separate from the Earth would be experiencing this particular movement. Like it would be influenced because the Earth is moving.
Wouldn't
Would
it
that
be
also would that also logically follow because the pendulum's affected by it, right?
So you're saying it's just kind of floating in free space?
No. What I'm saying is the pendulum is affected by the Earth's spin,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? We're all in agreement with that. You guys are showing me. Okay, so anything else that can lift off from the Earth is also going to be influenced by the Earth's spin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Is that
'cause-
correct?
Yeah.
because it's on Earth.
Okay.
Mhm.
So what else can we do? Can we fly a drone? Can we fly a helicopter? Can we get in a balloon? Can we anything that leaves the detached from the Earth? Let's say a football, a soccer ball, flies in the air. Anything that goes that way, can it be influenced by the spin of the Earth?
No, because it's still on Earth.
Yeah, you'd have to go like very, very high up.
You would have to leave
Like, yeah.
Earth.
Okay,
Everything
are
that is
you?
on Earth is still affected by Earth. It doesn't matter if it's attached
It's
to
like
Earth
if
or
you
not
throw a
attached.
ball, it's still within the same frame of reference as Earth, so it doesn't.
Is
It
the
doesn't affect-
pendulum is the
Yeah, hang on,
pendulum
Helio. Hang on,
attached to
Helio.
Earth?
Hang on, Helio. Hang on. Are you guys sure of this?
Am I sure that anything on Earth is affected by the spin of Earth? Yes.
Yes. What else?
Yeah.
Yes. I am sure
Nothing-
that any.
Nothing else is affected. Only the pendulum.
No, everything is affected by the spin of the Earth.
Okay, so before you said that the pendulum is the only thing, and your friends were chiming in saying that nothing else is affected because they're all attached to the Earth.
I
you-
must
you-
have
What? No, everything
asked-
is affected by the spin of the Earth because it's within the same frame of reference as the Earth.
Okay, so what else is affected other than the pendulum? Because the pendulum was one example.
Everything.
Everything on Earth, bro.
Okay, so everything on Earth is affected by the Earth spin. Take
Yeah.
another example, because obviously the pendulum is one example of something being affected by the spin of the Earth, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What else is affected by the spin of the Earth?
everything. Everything.
I know. That's a vague answer. Now I need the specifics.
You need a
Specifically what?
specific.
Yeah, give me
I
another
don't know
specific.
anything. I don't know anything else that's demonstrable at this time.
I
that
don't
would
know.
show-
Wait a
that
minute.
would show the curve.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. That would show the spin of the Earth.
Okay, so a couple of things, right? As I'm going through this, I
Yeah,
asked
but-
the question.
Yeah,
I
no,
asked,
sorry.
I asked the question. What else could be influencing the Foucault's pendulum? Is it only the spin of the Earth? The answer is no. We have a motor. You could push it. I could throw another earthquakes. There's other things that could influence it. So now we have other answers, right? Other answers could then support the fact that something else is making the pendulum do what it does.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's not just the Earth spin that could influence the pendulum. There's other things that could influence it, giving you the vision of when you're making an observation that it's Earth spin when it could be something else.
That's why I posted a time lapse. You can see.
Okay. Right, but what I'm saying is it's not 100% locked down that it's only the Earth spin and that's it. There is nothing else that can influence this. It's only Earth spin.
Could I interrupt quickly?
Are you getting the emphasis now of what I'm trying to... Go ahead,
yeah.
guys.
So if you put the pendulum on the equator where would be the axis of rotation, the pendulum does not rotate like it does in the other axis, like other lines or whatever.
Yeah, that's fine. That's what you're asserting. Yes, your assumption.
So it's like you're removing the variable.
Yeah, that's your assumption.
No, it's been done.
Yes. I know it's been done, but it's an assumption. The assumption is that because we're moving in a different location and we see the pendulum do something else, it's still the Earth spin. What I'm telling you guys,
an assumption if it's
it's an assumption, right? You're observing a device, you're observing a man-made contraption, and that observation is saying, well, I see this pendulum moving. This is called affirming the consequent. I see the pendulum moving, therefore the Earth is spinning. The Earth is spinning, therefore the pendulum is moving. That's when it could be something else. And I'm giving you the example of other things that it can be. And you've adequately supported that it can be other influencing things that are making the pendulum do something. So with your own admission, you're finding out that something else could influence a pendulum to make it process the way it does. So now we understand not just the Earth's rotation idea. It could be something else. So we cannot say with
we're not saying
that it's the Earth's spin. You understand?
No, but she's saying it assists it in moving because it can't move on its own for too long. So they have motors that assist it to move.
Yeah, but what we're getting to, Fauda, is that it's not just only the Earth spin. So if it's something else, then it throws off the idea that it's only the Earth spin. I'm putting an emphasis on only, as you might hear. So this is what you guys are being sold. You're told that it's only the Earth spin. There is nothing else that's influencing that. And as you correctly stated, there's other things that could influence the pendulum.
You have
influence it in what form? Like influence it in a way that like it changes its direction or like its motion, or influence it that it assists it to keep going in the same
Anything.
motion?
It doesn't matter if it starts up, if it moves in a different direction. There's other influencing things that could cause it to do such a thing. You've just named a few.
Right.
You've just named a
So
few.
when you
I don't have to say. You stated
when
it
you
already.
observe the flatness of Earth, right?
Yeah, but we're not getting to ask me questions. We're
I
finding out if
understand.
you
I'm
know.
not asking questions. I'm making a
Well,
statement.
but still, even if
When
it's
you
rhetorical,
observe the
what we're getting
flatness
to
of Earth,
owlishness.
you use your eyes. You also
We're not.
use
Yeah,
a laser.
hang
So
on.
you are also
Let's
using.
not detract. Let's not detract because
Okay. Okay.
we're
Go
not
ahead.
we're not gonna go. Well, I will suffice answer any questions, but like this has to be correctly stated. So we're understanding this from all three of you guys. And you all stated that other things could influence the pendulum other than the Earth spin. So now we don't know if it's only the Earth spin.
Yes, we
There's
do.
other influences. No.
Yes, we do. As I said
No, we don't.
before, as I said before. So it says here, look.
I know what it says, but go ahead and read.
No. What?
No, it's
Okay,
fine.
so
We'll just give him the dub on this one.
No.
Yeah,
No. The
Don't give up if you don't want to.
No.
Continue.
The precession or whatever you say, I don't know, like the fancy word
Yeah.
you use, of the pendulum depends on the angle between the rotational axis and the horizontal for the Earth, right? So this was like our theory, you could say, whatever. You can't prove it, whatever. So then the way that they proved that it was the rotations, because if you put it at the equator, it'll be zero at the equator. So therefore, the pendulum would just move straight forward, straight backwards, straight forward, straight backward. And if you move it anywhere else, it'll start spinning in circles. So the force that is causing it is one force that is the rotational of the rotational spin of the Earth.
Could it be another force?
No, because you removed the one variable. You removed one variable.
Yeah, but you're okay. So what you're doing here is you're saying the only thing that it can be is this one thing that I'm saying.
Yes, because it's the only variable that changed.
Yeah, but
And
you
the
don't know
exact
that.
same experiments.
Did you create the Earth?
No.
Okay, so
Have
do
you
you
tried
know? Do you know? Listen, hang on a second, Bung. If you can't pinpoint what exactly is the cause of the effect, then you're going to make an assumption as to what you think it is. And we don't want to hear assumptions. We need to know the exact cause of the effect.
But does that not prove the exact cause, since you removed removed the cause and it changed the effect? Does that not?
No, it doesn't. Because because you're making an assumption as what you think it is, giving the cause to the effect. When the cause could be something else, another force or another influence. And I'm telling you, there could be variables that you're not thinking of. And so what you're doing is you're making a logical fallacy. It's called affirming the consequent. Once again, I go over this. So now I could say it in a logical statement. I moved the pendulum to the equator.
Mm-hmm.
The pendulum is showing a different precession. Therefore, the different precession will show that the Earth is spinning, when it could be something else influencing the pendulum.
Did you really move it to
Did
the
you
equator?
did you understand what I just said in the logical statement? This is called affirming the consequent. It's a logical fallacy. And the reason why you guys don't know this is because when I asked you the question, is it something else influencing the pendulum? And you correctly stated, yes. There's a motor, there's somebody pushing it, there's an earthquake, these are your answers, not mine.
Okay, but they're just minute changes or like effects to the.
I know, but it's still an influence. It's still an influence on the pendulum. And so if something else can influence it, what we're understanding from this is that you're not correctly stating that it's only the Earth spin.
Has anyone done it though? I mean, demonstration.
I need their concession. Either you're going to concede that you don't know what the cause to the effect is, or we're going to continue to spiral into a place where you're going to continue to give me your assumptions as what you think is the cause of the effect. I can keep going. Trust me.
Okay, but the results.
A lot of gas in this tank.
But these assumptions are what we believe in.
By moving through like the different parts of the Earth, it'll change. It'll be the same.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. But is the cause of the effect the Earth spinning or another influence? Do you actually know that to be 100% sure?
Because
I can talk about
because it won't be the same. It's been demonstrated many times. But
listen, guys, listen. I know, but I need them to be there. Listen, if you're going to be honest, then you're going to tell me the cause of the effect, and we're going to investigate the cause of that effect. So continue if you think you know. So now we went to a different location, as you said, the equator, and we see a different.
Removed the one variable that you said was supposed to, like that's the one variable that we removed. That would be the.
No, it wasn't one variable. It wasn't.
Yes,
the other.
yes.
No, Gonzo. Didn't you hear what owlishness said?
That other things affected or whatever.
Yes.
Okay,
no, but like they take those things into consideration when they're building it. They're not stupid. They're not just gonna build it.
They're still okay.
They're not gonna like watch it as an earthquake is taking place and be like, look at the motion.
Well, I don't know why you made them to be Jamaicans, but like, listen, like the thing about this is the information that we're getting from what they're telling us is an assumption. So you're believing a story of what they're telling you that the cause of the effect is.
No, because every other variable is still in place.
What variable?
Like these other forces that are affecting it is still in place. People are pushing it. There's the electromagnetic thing, whatever, the magnet pushing it. It's the same thing as there, right?
Yeah.
So it shouldn't change.
Other things.
So if it wasn't the spin of the Earth, it shouldn't change, right?
No,
yeah, but you're only stating that it's only the spin of the Earth influencing it, Gonzo. And this information, you don't know this. You don't know the cause of the effect. The assumption has been made. When the contraption is moving, they say, the Earth is spinning, therefore the contraption is moving. The contraption is moving, therefore the Earth is spinning. That's a logical fallacy. I've been telling you this. Now, you're saying that because you move it to a different location and it spins differently or it processes differently, then we start to see that the cause of the effect is actually the Earth spin, and it's not something else. But I'm telling you, even when you move it to a different location, is anything else a possible influence on that device?
No, but he's saying those possible influences
are the same thing
carried on to the different locations.
I know that.
That means
it should act the exact same way.
The same.
No.
Yeah,
it doesn't mean that.
If the conditions are the same, bro. Like it's gonna.
No. I'm not talking about the conditions of being the same. I'm saying like if you're saying that other things can still influence it, this is what you're not getting. If other stuff can still influence the contraption, then you still have the same variables that could influence a contraption. It's going to be other things.
Except the one that we removed, and that changed everything.
What did you remove?
We removed the rotational axis and the horizontal from the Earth because that's what made the difference.
You didn't remove that.
Yes, we did. We moved it by moving to the equator.
How did you remove the axial rotation? You didn't remove anything.
It's not it's the rotation axis and the horizontal that makes the
but you didn't remove it.
Yes, we did by going to the equator.
Okay, put it into
Miggy,
because you're thinking.
Miggy,
You're thinking.
No,
I'm not.
You need to listen. You need to listen.
No. You guys are getting this incorrect. So the part of this is that you're trying to say that this is something scientific, and it's not. You can't say that the variables that you're removing are not variables that are controlled. You cannot control.
They are controlled.
Can you control the spin of the Earth if it's actually a globe and it's spinning? Can you control that?
You can.
By moving to other places.
No, dude.
It's unfalsifiable.
You're not. It's not an independent variable. How did you manipulate Earth spin? How did you manipulate it?
No, it's not Earth spin. It's not the Earth spin.
Spin of the Earth. He made it spin backwards.
Hang on. I'm trying to figure out. So you guys are trying to say that you moved to a different location, therefore you manipulated the variable. You did not do such a thing. If indeed the Earth was a globe and it was spinning, then you'd have to manipulate the independent variable to understand, like slow it down, speed it up. That's what I'm saying. You didn't do any of that. The idea is that it's processing differently, so then you're asserting that it's your assumed cause of the effect. This is your fallacy. You're thinking that because it's doing something else, then therefore it's the Earth spinning. It's like you didn't manipulate the Earth spin. And in a controlled scientific experiment, you'd have to manipulate the independent variable, which would be the thing that you're trying to figure out if it's causing the effect that you're seeing. Do you guys understand? Because the natural phenomena that you're seeing the Earth spinning has not been done. You're looking at a contraption man-made that's built.
Hold on, Miggy. Was he saying that you can put? Hold on. Please, can I say something? Please, Miggy?
Yeah, go ahead, man. Like, I just don't want them to detract from what we're saying because we're going to fall off the rails here.
What I was hearing is that he was saying that you could put these contraptions on different parts of the Earth and experience the same phenomenon.
No, different phenomena is what he's saying.
Different phenomena.
Yes, different. They're saying different phenomena
because of the latitude.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
so where is this observed? You guys have been talking about it. Where do we observe
it? At the equator. They're saying the equator, Helio. That's what they're talking about.
No. Where?
That's what they're saying. I'm not saying.
Where did Foucault do it?
What?
Where did Foucault create?
No, Foucault started it, bro, and then other people experimented.
Okay,
where?
They're using the word experiment wrong. Yeah, I'm getting to it, Helio. That's the reason why they wanted to detract.
Go for it. I'm listening.
It doesn't matter where he started.
It does matter. It does matter.
No, it doesn't.
All right, Helio, guys, please let me continue down the path. So what we're figuring out is the independent variable is the Earth spinning. We can't slow it, speed it up, or stop it. There's nothing that we can do.
The independent variable is the angle between the rotational axis and the horizontal. It's an angle that you can change by moving locations. It has nothing to do with the rotational axis of the Earth. You do not change it.
It has everything to do with the rotational axis of the Earth.
Yeah, but that is constant. We're not changing it. You guys are acting like
we're trying to find. Listen, no, you're trying to find out what the cause of the effect is. The cause is the Earth is spinning. The effect is we are processing within the Earth. Like things on the Earth are we're seeing contraptions move and all kinds of stuff. So the independent variable would be that the Earth is actually spinning on its axis. Now you need to manipulate that to slow it down, to stop it, to actually know if it's the Earth's spin influencing the device or not. You're not doing that. You're just going to a different location.
The device.
So you don't understand.
The device. Okay. Yes. The device is not only like the rotational axis is not the only thing that affects it. It says that.
I know that.
Yeah, it's the
angle. The idea behind it.
It's the angle between the rotational axis and the horizontal lines.
You're missing it, right? So when I asked you the question, how many things can influence this device, and you stated correctly how many other things are possible because of the motor, and you didn't answer this, but I'm going to insert it because it's another part of it. The air turbulence. There's other things that could possibly be an influence to the thing that you're seeing.
Yeah, but in an enclosed room, there's not really much
of no turbulence in a room.
Yeah,
it's not enough.
I'm giving you.
Close the doors, you're good.
Yeah.
Oh, so there's no wind happening where they pendulum.
No, have you been in a room before?
Not wind.
Is there wind in your room right now? Are you being blown away right now?
Do you feel anything? Do you feel anything to be able to move a pendulum?
Okay, so the air. No, listen. The air is not moving around in anywhere you're at. Don't be a straight up liar, dude. Like air turbulence is everywhere. It's breathing air.
It's not strong enough.
Yeah?
It's not strong enough to move.
That's the point.
Air.
That's not the point. The point is what we're doing is showing all the variables that could influence it. If it were possible that there was a nice little current, or the air condition turned on, or something else happened where the air changes its current, it could influence it. So what we're saying here, a lot of things that you don't understand.
But you don't think they're going to think of turning the AC off so it doesn't influence it?
That's not the point, Fauda. The point is that
is the point.
That's the point that you brought up.
Other things can influence the pendulum. Other things, I'll say it again. How many times do you want me to say this? Other things can influence a pendulum. Other things can influence a pendulum. And you've already stated that other things can influence it. So the cause of the effect is not just only the Earth's spin. It is other variables.
Only.
Because
Sir,
you guys don't seem to get this.
No. Listen, you just keep repeating yourself and harping upon these singular things. So you're just nitpicking. You're picking things out of the argument.
Exactly. You told me that.
No, I know what I told you. You don't have to tell me again. Listen, you don't have to tell me again. I know what I told you. You've listed it.
So why is it difficult for you guys to understand it? So why is it difficult for you to understand that there's other things influencing the pendulum?
Okay, hear me out.
Because you're nitpicking.
Okay, wait. Okay. So let's say we have the pendulum up north, and it's in a room. It's the same air. It's a room. It's a closed room. It feels the same everywhere, right? Can we agree on that?
Mm-hmm. You can keep the variables the same within a room.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. All right. So all these external variables you're talking about are the same up north and the equator. If you're in a room, the same thing. The exact same.
All right.
thing.
So let's go over. You're going to a different location. Let's go over the other things that could influence the pendulum.
Okay, perfect.
What other things other than the Earth?
No, he's saying
Yeah,
that same chamber that you had.
I know what he's saying, Fauda.
Okay,
But what I'm telling you is, I need you to state what other things can influence a pendulum, and I need you guys to hear yourselves when you say it.
Okay,
What other things can influence? What other things can influence the pendulum's movement?
Okay, for right now we have air friction and the magnets. The thing is on, right? Because it's not.
That wasn't it. There was more.
My goodness, dude.
What was it?
I have heard myself say many times.
Okay, wait. Let's hear it. Miggy, what are they?
Guys,
no. I don't want him to list it because he wants to hear me say it, right?
Okay, say it.
Yeah.
So he wants me to say the motor, right? That is assisting in the swinging of it because there is no such thing as perpetual motion.
Interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
what else?
Somebody has to get it going, right? So
there you go.
We have to give it a little push to get her going.
Okay, but you can give it a push, then you could wait maybe 2 hours and wait for it to see the because it's gonna go in the motion that it's like it's gonna go in the motion that it like it's.
She just finished telling you there's no perpetual motion, so there's gonna have to be an assistance from a motor.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
It pushes it in its natural path, anyways. Like the straight up and straight back. That's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah. No,
right?
You could push it. You could push it anyway.
It still starts fucking spinning in circles.
Also, interesting.
You could push it, and then it'll take its natural path eventually, right? You just need to get it started.
Yes. I don't know. You guys are telling me.
He said, nothing can move it.
You push on a device.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what it is. Listen, but what you're doing is you're influencing the pendulum straight away.
In the beginning,
Okay, yeah. But then you give it some time to take its natural path, and then
it'll give you the results. Yeah.
Okay, so your influence on the pendulum is not just watching a natural phenomena. You're actually making something happen by influencing it.
No.
Yes.
No.
No.
Yeah, but it's going to take its natural path. Like I was saying, if you
how is that like not influencing? Because when you push on it, you automatically start to say, "I pushed on the device, therefore the Earth is spinning."
Yeah, but if it was taking its natural path,
I'm never going to get the apparatus interrupted.
Okay, no, but if you push
the apparatus and it's 90 degrees plumb, if the Earth is spinning, then it will start moving by itself. You don't have to push it.
Yeah.
No. What? No, because it's in the same frame of reference.
No, you're missing the point. You're missing the point. The point is you're influencing the device. The device isn't a natural phenomenon. So you're not watching Earth spin. You're not doing that. That would be the observation of a natural phenomenon. And in the scientific method, that's what you'd have to do. The observation of a natural phenomenon to see what the cause of the effect is. And then manipulate the variable and then see if the cause isn't what your hypothesis is. So you're doing a hypothesis test. You're not doing that when you're looking at a contraption because it's a man-made contraption that you're influencing at the very beginning, and then it starts to process and doesn't continue perpetually, like owlishness says correctly. You'd have to put a motor to make it continuously do something. So that's another influence.
Okay,
so you are influencing the pendulum all the time, even to get it going, and then also to keep it going. So you're not isolating the cause of the effect. You're just making an assumption that it's doing something, therefore the Earth is spinning. Okay, your assumption and everybody else's is that it's the Earth spinning. And I've already told you it doesn't matter where you go because this type of device will have to be started by a person.
Everything starts with a hypothesis or theory. Like the computer you're sitting on was hypothesized to be possible, and then it was made.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about the pendulum.
Okay, but listen. If you were to push a swing, it would go back and forth, right? But the pendulum that you're seeing is not going back and forth. It's going back and forth, but it's also spinning. If you were to push the pendulum, say north, it's going to swing north, south.
Who cares?
South, right?
Listen, you are the one. You're the one that influenced the pendulum. Yes or no, Fauda?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
the Earth didn't influence it. You did.
Okay, but if you push it straight, If you push it straight, it's going to come straight back at you, and then it's going to go straight forward, and then right back at you.
Did you influence the pendulum?
Did you influence the pendulum? Back at you.
Did you influence the pendulum?
Yeah, but that doesn't matter.
Yeah,
but then you give it 2 hours, and then the Earth is going to start influencing the pendulum.
So you're asserting that there's no other influence, only the Earth spin, only. And I just finished saying, you correctly stated, you started the influence on that pendulum, and you also added that since it doesn't keep perpetual motion, you have to put a motor to make it keep going. So there's another influence. And on top of that, there's other influences that could keep it going. So, but you guys don't realize that.
So how come the same influences happen at two different places with different results?
Hey, you tell me. You're the one asserting things. I'm not.
Yes,
I'm not making a positive effect.
Yes, because we removed.
That's what we're getting at.
We removed the one thing that we thought would make a difference. Yes, we changed. We changed the angle.
You didn't remove it.
We changed the angle between. We changed the angle between the rotational axis and the latitude line that we are on.
Okay, you know what? Like, let me take you back to the reason why I asked the first question, and the very first question was, who measures the curvature of the Earth? So now you've all conceded that you don't know. Let me put you on the spotlight here. So you didn't know if the Earth is curving or not. Right now, at this current moment, you don't know if the Earth is a globe or no. And now the second question, the reason why I have layered it this way, is because of the fact that the Earth, being a globe, has to be doing something, right, in the vacuum of space. We haven't even got to the third question yet, but the second one is that it's doing something. The Earth is a globe. Now it's doing something with this second question. But we don't even know if it's a globe or not. Concession by you guys, happily. So now we're in the second question, asserting and assuming that it's processing because the Earth is spinning on its axis. And you guys don't realize that you didn't prove the Earth to be a globe in the first place. Now you're asserting that it's doing something, and it's an assumption even. And so what we're getting to is that you want to stand by your assertions because that's the only thing that it can be. And then I went ahead and said, what else is influencing it? And you correctly stated, well, I pushed it to get it going, and also the motor keeps it going. So there is influence on it all the time. It is not just only the Earth spin, guys. This is what's happening here.
No, but listen. They had
we agree.
They had smart engineers build it. So that the machine that it's on, so that the engine that it's on doesn't affect the way it rotates. It just assists it in the motion. It doesn't change its motion.
I know you're not watching the chat. I know
you're divining somebody's thoughts. Like, you don't know that's what they thought when they made this thing up. You're just assuming. You're going off. You're making up a story right now. How do you know what they thought? You don't know what they thought.
Well, then no one would be building the pendulum, right? Why would they waste so much money on building the pendulum?
I don't know. Listen, I don't know, but you're the one divining their thoughts, like as if you knew what they were thinking at the time they were thinking it. Hey, wow, that's pretty, like psychic of you to know that. Like, how do you know that's what they said and what they thought? You don't know that. You're just asserting this because you want this to be the key to give you the answer that the Earth is actually doing something.
It's consistent. It's not. Every experiment they do, everyone. Yes, like different people make different pendulums and it had the same result happen.
Who cares? The thing that we're trying to look, the reason why I say who cares is because I am only trying to figure out if the Earth is moving or no. And what we haven't figured out is, for number one, that the Earth has any curvature. Number two, that we're assuming the cause of the effect is the Earth spinning on its axis due to the fact that we see a contraption moving. When, right? Let me tell it to you this way. When you pushed it to get it going, and the motor is keeping it going. So there's so much influence on the device that it's not just isolated that the Earth is spinning on its axis due to the fact that that's what we're watching. Like, we can't take a step back from the Earth and say, oh, look, I see the Earth spinning on its axis. No, we're looking at a device that we have to man-make and also influence on every angle and direction.
Okay, but if we're influencing it so much, if we're pushing the pendulum straight, why is it rotating?
Well, you're telling me a question that should be sufficiently answered by this contraption. Why are you doing that? Mm-hmm.
What? No, I'm telling you, like I'm asking you, why is it that
I know, why are you asking me? Because it should be self-evident, shouldn't it? You shouldn't be able to ask me that because you should say, look, this covers the information for you to sufficiently know that this is the only thing you need to know, that the Earth is spinning on its axis. And it's not sufficient, and I'm telling you that And you're asking me the question, what else can it be? And having me try to explain to you, I don't have to, because I can sufficiently tell you that there isn't enough information here to give us the understanding that the Earth is actually spinning on its axis. When what we're doing is watching a man-made contraption that we pushed, and now that we have to keep moving with the motor. So now we're saying, Eureka, it is the Earth spinning. And no, because we're influencing the device all the time. So now we're giving our assumptions. We haven't isolated the cause of the effect. We're only telling people that because the pendulum is doing something, now we're saying that the Earth is spinning. Voila. Well done. You just affirmed the consequence.
No, well, it would show the same. What's it called? It would show the same like motion if you moved it from.
You don't understand, Pato, what I'm saying. It doesn't matter what you do to the device. It doesn't matter where you go. The only thing that matters is that the influence put on it is you, sir. That's it.
Okay. Well, if the same influence is the same, like
I know.
If the same influence
that's what I've been trying to tell you. That's exactly what I've been trying to tell you.
So what would be enough evidence for you, like a picture from outer space, or like maybe a live stream that NASA does on YouTube?
No. Okay. So what I would need is an observation of the natural phenomena of Earth spin.
Yeah, we have satellites, we have images.
That's not what I'm talking about, man. So I'm talking about when has in any time in history a person ever seen the Earth spinning on its axis?
Now.
Go ahead.
Now we have videos of it.
No.
Yes.
Okay, wait. If you were to take a flight,
that's the third question. We'll get to that. But so the Foucault's pendulum didn't sufficiently answer because now there's a whole bunch of questions, right? Asking me, well, what is the cause of the effect? And don't ask me. This thing should sufficiently answer the question if the Earth is spinning on its axis or not. And it doesn't do such a thing because of all the influence that it gets on other ways that people can actually have this thing moving around. And so we can't use this to isolate the fact that the cause is actually Earth spinning on its axis all by itself. We have to make a contraption, put influence on it, and then say, oh, yeah, that's great. Now the Earth's spinning. Voila. No, you just made a contraption up and then did something to it and then made your assertion and assumption. That's all you did. That's it.
Okay, question three.
All right, so I need a concession from all three of you. If not, we're going to keep going.
Yeah, we give up.
Fauda?
What happened?
We give up.
Do you concede or do you want to continue? Because we can. Because trust me, this gets juicier as the questions keep rolling.
Nah, bro. I tap out, bro. I should go to bed, man.
What say you, Owlishness?
Go ahead.
I need a concession.
Just tap out.
Yeah, sure. You can have your concession. Yeah.
Okay, but don't give it to me just because I want to hear that. You have to do it because you actually don't know what the cause of the effect of the pendulum is. If you actually know, then we have to stay here until we figure this out. We don't leave. That's what we don't do. We have to stick with this.
Listen.
Mm-hmm.
We've given you the cause of the effect. You just...
No, you didn't. You're assuming.
Okay. No, I have no idea.
Okay,
no, you stumped us, bro. You stumped us. Way to go.
No, you got
it. I didn't stump you. What happens is
I was able to answer your question.
I'm presenting the information that is not sufficient to give us the information that the Earth is spinning on its axis. It's a man-made assumption, contraption, and influence on this thing that we're saying that, we're just going to say that it's the Earth spinning. Because there's other variables. Anyway.
Okay, I'm really excited to hear question 3.
Yeah, we give up.
All right, question 3. Question 3 is that the Earth is said to reside in a medium called the vacuum of space. Now, let me just finish with my spiel so you guys can get the gist of this. So the vacuum of space. The vacuum of space is the thing that's surrounding the Earth, right? According to the heliocentric notion, the Earth is said to reside in this vacuum of space. So now we have a differential pressure. So what we have is a very super low pressure, right? We can put it in a mathematical term, 10 to the negative 17 or whatever, if you'd like. But it just means that it's really close to zero. Not all the way at zero, but it's really close when you get to the furthest parts of the atmosphere. So what is happening here is that we have gas pressure here on Earth. You and I, everyone in this room, are breathing at like 14 psi here on the Earth, like at ground level. Mm-hmm. So as you go up in elevation, you can see a differential in pressure. It gets thinner, it gets harder to breathe, and so on. So what we get, though, is a gradient air pressure. Now, we still have pressure in the first instance. So gas pressure is here on Earth. So the question is, the Earth is said to be an open system where rockets and satellites and other things can leave the Earth, right? Matter and energy can transfer back and forward from the Earth to space and whatnot. So we have matter and energy transfer in this open system. So what we have to understand is that if it's an open system like they say it is, how does gas pressure here on Earth stay here without a container?
Gravity.
Okay, Ganso?
Gravity.
Oh, Fauda?
Gravity.
Owlishness?
Gravity.
Okay. Now, primary source, citation, demonstration.
It just could drop an apple on the floor.
No, I mean, you got to actually give me the...
second.
Yeah, we got to walk through this.
Don't look at that.
What the heck?
Oh, look at that.
That looks like your homework.
No, it was a HTML code instead of an image.
Are you a hacker?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway. All right, gravity. Go on. Primary source. You guys need to help Alice. I mean, she's doing the heavy lifting tonight, bro.
Right, so
seriously, step it up.
Here's the periodic table of elements, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you look at the periodic table of elements, this one actually, no, it does. Every element has a weight, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that means compounds, they also have weight. So when you combine the elements together, they have a weight. The gravitational pull in each element... Oh, these are just some nice reactions. We got a clown and a little nail care one. That's cool.
I will continue. Don't get distracted. I want to hear your answer to this.
So when the compounds also have their own weight, they're pulled down by the gravitational pull of the Earth. So as you go up higher, obviously it's thinner because, the air gets thinner. The gravity is not pulling as hard. So once you keep going up, it can't go up any higher. The end.
The end. Damn. All right. So Ganso.
Wait, what was the question? How gas stays on the Earth?
Yeah.
The question is, how does gas contain gas?
Yeah.
That's the question. It's a very common question. How does gas contain gas?
Well, gas pressure right. Without a container. That's the question. How do we have gas pressure without a container?
Gravity, bro. It holds everything in.
I know that, but you can't say one word answers and then get away with it because I got to hold you guys to the same standard I'm holding. Now, without owlishness holding your guys' hands, go ahead and give me the primary source, citation, and demonstration. I'm going to see if you can do better without owlishness. You guys just can't be followers. You can have your own critical thinking to this too.
I'll follow her to the ends of the earth.
Seriously?
Yeah.
So you wouldn't have an answer to this?
No, it's just... There's a force pulling everything towards the earth.
Okay.
Therefore, nothing is...
That's basically what you just told me earlier. You drop something and it falls. That's not what she's saying, okay? She went a little in depth
That is
with it.
what I'm saying.
No, that is what she's saying.
That is what I'm saying because the...
Yeah. Did you talk about elements, Ganso?
It doesn't matter what
everything is elements. Just
everything is
say
elements and atoms and...
All right. So Fauda. Let me go to Fauda now.
Compounds.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Do you want to just say exactly what they said verbatim, or do you have something else to explain?
Yeah, bro. Whatever Alice said, bro, word for word, I take it.
Seriously, dude. Nobody. You guys don't share a community brain, man. You have your own critical thinking mind. You could say however you want. This is your own. This is your time to shine.
On a speaker mind. Inshallah, speaker mind.
No, maybe so.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, because bro, you know how as you go up, there's less pressure. That means gravity, because there's less gravity acting on wherever you are, right? So if you're close to the Earth, there's higher pressure, correct? Because there's more gravity, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, that's all there is to say, bro.
I'm only listening to your guys tell me. All right,
that is all there is to say, bro.
I don't know. So there's the idea. There's the idea that gravity is holding everything down.
Yeah.
All right. So remember, the demonstration of gas pressure without a container is due to the fact of gravity, and that was owlishness's answer. So now we're going to need to see the citation. Like we got the primary source. What was the primary source to that? Who first discovered this?
See, that's a tough
Who
question.
first discovered?
Not
gravity?
really.
Newton.
Yeah, Newton. Like,
I don't know. You guys need to tell me.
Yeah,
you
Newton,
guys
bro.
have.
Newton, bro.
Okay, so Newton, bro. Owlishness. What do you say?
Well, yeah,
Newton,
that's
bro.
who it, bro.
Newton, bro. Okay, so we're going with Newton, bro. All right, so Newton is the primary source. Now, citation, please. I said this wasn't going to be easy, and I meant it.
No,
So
somebody
citation.
already posted it for
Who
us.
did?
Proposed by Albert Einstein in 1915. Actually, no. Gravity is most accurately described by the general theory of relativity, proposed by Albert Einstein in 1915, which describes gravity not as a force. That's that one.
I know, but you guys said Newton, bro. So
yeah,
he was the first to find it, and then Einstein made a theory.
Yeah, but what did Newton do? Tell me how he discovered gravity.
An apple fell on his head, bro.
Oh God, dude! I hope you don't say that. Yes.
All I gotta do is let an apple fall on my head.
Yeah, we're.
Yeah, that's all you have to do. If you go to the Apple Store, in fact, they'll throw a lot
that's how you found out. Okay.
You went to the Apple Store.
He just beat you to it, bro.
Okay.
No, that's not how
At least it
we
wasn't
found
a
out.
coconut. At least it wasn't a coconut.
How did he find out?
I don't know. You guys tell me.
I told you an apple. Okay, move on. Confirmed. Everyone confirmed?
No, it's not confirmed. No. All right, so
Wait,
you're saying apple?
How gravity was discovered?
Yes. How was it discovered?
Yeah.
Primary source. So Newton had an apple fall on his head. Okay, now the citation where it says Newton had an apple fall on his head, and that's how he figured out gravity was a force.
I just posted it.
Okay, so Alex just posted it. All right. Primary source citation. Now let's go to the demonstration. This is the fun part.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The fun part is how are we gonna get gravity to hold anything? Let's figure this out. Gravity's holding the gas down, the air that you and I are breathing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so demonstration. How are we gonna figure that out? Go ahead. Demonstrate gravity. Demonstrate gravity being a container.
The mere fact that we are alive and I'm speaking to you and we have
mere fact. I don't know. It's not a mere fact. That don't ever start. The mere fact that you just got to be alive. That's the way. No, you're not going to get away with that. So how can I control the variable of gravity to then contain the air anywhere? Go ahead.
You go up in elevation.
I'm not containing air. So like if I'm able to contain a gas, right? Just like I can do in any.
Well, the gas is contained in the atmosphere.
Let me give you an example, right? When I have a high pressure next to a low pressure, what happens to the gas that's inside of a container when I open up the container?
It reaches equilibrium.
Why?
Because that's just what they do. That's just their nature.
Right. It's a natural law. So you correctly said what would happen. It reaches a state of equilibrium. And so if let's say we can do a little controlled experiment here. If I blow air into a balloon, what happens to the balloon? It expands, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so now I create a high pressure inside of that balloon. Outside of it, however, is a lower pressure.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a container. The container is the balloon. What happens when I open up the nozzle? What happens when I open up the nozzle of that balloon?
Can't open up gravity, though. I mean, how can we open up gravity?
Yeah. So listen, guys. What happens when I open up the nozzle of that balloon?
It reaches equilibrium again.
I know, but what happens to the air inside of the balloon?
The air escapes.
Where does it go to?
Atmosphere.
With the other air.
I know that, but I mean, like, in what direction does it go?
What direction does the air go?
It sounds like a silly question, but like, if I open up the nozzle of that balloon, where does the air rush out to? Up, down, sideways? Where does it go?
It depends on what direction.
Please don't answer, guys. If you're not these guys, please don't answer. I don't want any help from them. They have to give us the. Put yourself on mute. Like, please resist the temptation to help them. Like, they have to tell me what direction does the air go.
It depends on what direction you have the balloon pointed.
Okay, let's say I have it pointed down. Which direction does the air go?
Up.
What happens if I have it pointed up?
It goes down.
The air goes down. Okay, so the air only goes down?
No.
Is that the only direction?
No, because it depends on what direction you have the balloon.
Well,
so
no, I'm saying the air coming out.
No. Listen. If you are holding the balloon by the stem, right? You have it blown up. You're holding the stem of the balloon, right? If you're holding it with the stem parallel to you and you release it, the balloon is going to go in the direction.
No, not the balloon. No, I'm not talking about the balloon.
Yes, the air is. Yes, the air is pushing against the air, which pushes the balloon parallel to you, parallel to the ground. Okay. So it'll fly off in that direction. Yes, it'll fly off in that direction, parallel to you. The air will be pushed in the opposite direction. You hold the stem of the balloon.
Yes, you're telling me the most obvious thing. I know.
Right. So what you asked me, so I'm telling you the obvious thing you asked.
The air that's leaving the balloon, in what direction is it going?
I just answered you. Did you not listen?
Okay, you can just tell me right now. What direction is the air rushing out of the balloon going?
I asked you, what direction are you holding the balloon, because it matters.
No, it don't.
Yes, it does.
Okay,
it really doesn't.
Because the air is under pressure.
Do you want to know why it doesn't matter? I can tell you.
Sure,
now I will. Trust me, I will. I have done this many times. So the direction isn't like up, down, sideways, or any direction. It goes into any and all directions.
Okay.
Okay, what? That's the answer.
Okay, Miggy.
It wasn't just the direction you're talking about, because you have it sideways or up and down. You're trying to insert like a position like where the air is going to rush out into. What I'm saying is that when the air rushes out, it goes everywhere.
Yeah.
In all directions.
However,
that is the correct answer.
Okay.
And you either understand this or you don't.
The correct answer, but
no, it's okay.
sure.
It's okay. Miggy, can I ask you a question? So
not really, because
it's
just information.
No, just to clarify what you said.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah,
if you're gonna clarify, go ahead.
So you're talking you said like the air pressure difference between whatever is outside the Earth would
inside of the balloon and outside of the balloon, or what are you using?
I'm talking about the Earth because that's what you start with, right?
No, you don't start with the Earth, because you're making an assumption of what gravity is, and also an assumption of what the Earth is. So we don't start with an assumption.
The reason the air moves out of the balloon is because of air pressure.
Yeah, but why is there air pressure?
Because there's different pressures of air in the atmosphere.
No, we're talking about the balloon example, Gonzo. Don't leave the example.
Because there's a lot of pressure in the balloon, and it comes out to low pressure.
But why is there pressure in the first place?
Because you move a lot of air into a confined space.
All right, so now we have air in a confined space.
Mm-hmm.
So air in a confined space is going to be more pressure than air outside of that confined space, right?
Agreed, 100%.
Okay, so when we see entropy happening, entropy meaning that high pressure will move to low, and cold or hot will move to cold.
Mm-hmm.
This is the natural law that happens always.
Yeah.
But here's the issue, right? We're having an issue. The issue is gravity is being a container. When is gravity a container? I'm sounding a bit facetious when I'm saying this, but because of the fact that we're making a statement here that gravity is holding the elements in some place.
Okay, not necessarily.
Gravity.
Do you want me to help you out here?
Okay, not necessarily. Only gravity is holding the air in the Earth. Okay, listen. So, in space, is there air pressure in space?
We don't know. We haven't even examined that yet.
But you said it was. You told me specifically it was a vacuum. So is there air in space?
That's what they're telling us.
Okay. You told me it was a vacuum. No, you told me it was a vacuum.
No.
So
this is the main.
No, you told me. No, you told me it was a vacuum.
You're not that thick, are you?
Bro,
you're not.
What? You told me.
I'm telling you that this is the mainstream rhetoric. This is what they're telling you, me, and everybody, Gonzo. I'm not saying I'm telling you what it is. I'm telling you, this is what they're claiming, Gonzo. Listen, when I'm telling you, the very first thing is that the rhetoric is that it's called the vacuum of space for a reason. And so they're telling us that the medium that the Earth resides in is a vacuum. I didn't make that up. That is what they're telling us.
Okay, you're right. Okay, so they're telling us it's a vacuum, right?
Yes.
Is there air pressure in vacuum? No.
They say it's super low. Low pressure.
No, there's no pressure in a vacuum.
Yes, they are.
What?
Yes, they are. Yeah, dude, trust me. You don't know the rhetoric. I've been doing this for years, bro. I know the thing inside and out. You don't realize this, but you're actually coming up against somebody who actually knows all the ins and outs of this. So, if you don't know, I'm going to have you go look it up. It doesn't say that there is no gas pressure. It says that it's super, super, super low. It has a number to it, but it doesn't mean that there isn't any gas pressure. It just means it's super low. You didn't know this, and I'm informing you. Go look it up.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So.
Okay. Wait. Go on. I'll switch it up.
Go ahead. Can
I interject something really quick?
Go ahead.
So you know dry ice, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you have dry ice, here I'll post an image.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Dry ice, as you know, will stay along the ground. You can see it pouring out of the bowl along the ground, right?
Oh yeah, sure.
That is air containing air. That is gas containing gas.
No,
why is it going along the ground?
Okay, so what I would ask you here in this instance, what direction is the gas going in?
Down.
Huh?
Down.
Is it going down only?
Yes. You can tell in the picture that it's going down, and
it's not just going down. It's not just going down.
So you're going to use some sort of
magic trick? No, I'm not.
No, not magic trick. You're taking my speech and you're manipulating it.
No, I'm actually exposing what your ignorance is on the subject.
But what is my ignorance on this subject?
When I asked you where is the gas going to?
It is going down and it is moving across the floor, like I said when I mentioned it.
What direction? What direction is it moving?
I just said that it's yes, like Sheepdog Legend said, it is spreading along the floor.
Directions.
Like I said. When
I didn't say that.
Yes, I did.
You said it's going down.
I posted an image that obviously showed it going along the floor, down out of the bowl. I know that. What I said. I said
okay, down out of the bowl.
Okay.
So once it reaches its state of down out of the bowl, do you think it remains there?
On the ground, yeah, you can see it. But
does it remain there?
Does it remain where? On the ground?
On the ground, yeah, on the ground.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No, it does not. It does not remain on the ground. It dissipates.
Why is it on the ground?
Listen,
Why is it on the ground?
It dissipates back. I'm trying to answer your question. If you're listening, it dissipates into the air. It actually loses its structure, and it actually starts to dissipate within the air that it's in. So it starts to just
breaks down.
What do you mean, right? Yeah, and so it goes everywhere into like the air itself, up, down, sideways.
Your point, right, was that air cannot contain air. Gas cannot contain gas.
Yeah. The air that you and I breathe.
Right. This is an example of gas containing gas.
No, that's not.
Yes,
it's not. It's not containing.
Can you not talk over me?
Go ahead, but it's not gas containing gas.
It is.
It's not.
It is.
How is a gas contained if it's going everywhere?
You would fail physics. If you answered that in a test, you'd fail. Okay? There's a reason why. There's a reason why. Look it up. It's very scientific.
It's very scientific.
Yeah, it is. Like you gotta have to look.
It's very scientific. The reason why gravity is affecting.
No, not gravity. Not gravity. Not gravity.
Why does dry ice or why does cold air go down dry ice? Look that up. You'll find the answer.
Why does cold air go down dry ice?
Yeah, search that up. Yeah, you'll find the answer.
That would be your answer.
Yeah.
Heat rises.
Yeah, but we can't help you here. You have to like the reason why we're telling you that's incorrect is because we have already looked into this owlishness.
Hey, I'll give you another example. So if you were to inhale carbon dioxide into your lungs, Instead of exhaling it, if you were to inhale it, you would eventually die. Why would you die?
Okay, we're not answering the question though.
It would replace or displace the oxygen.
Why are we going to this example? Why are we going to this example? We're trying to figure out how gravity.
I'm telling you that carbon dioxide displaces oxygen because it's heavier than it, right?
Denser.
It's denser.
It's denser. That is the definition of what heavier is. Denser.
It's not.
It's not.
Okay. You. Okay. That's why I posted.
This isn't. Yeah.
This is why I posted. Why I started off conversation with posting the periodic table of elements. Demonstrate that each element has its own weight. So when they're compounds, they are more dense. They are heavier. So therefore, sorry, I was reading the chat. So therefore, when it displaces oxygen, that oxygen is containing, in other words, that carbon dioxide because it is on the ground.
Yeah, but your example was dry ice, though.
Listen,
right?
Yeah, that's carbon dioxide.
Yeah, but I'm saying that was your example for showing that gravity is containing the gas. So yeah, I know, but what we're showing you also is that gravity isn't containing it because it's going in all directions.
Okay.
Gravity's not holding it back.
Okay. Yeah, once it breaks down.
You either agree or disagree, and if you disagree, then you have to support the disagreement with a way that gas is having a directional of down only.
But I think
that means
what she's talking about, Miggy, I think what she's talking about is how the gases layer themselves by density. Yes. I think that's what she's confusing as like gas
gravity
containing gas.
The layers. The Earth
it's the layers of gases.
Right. So that's what's happening with the Earth.
Right, but it's not, right? This is called equilibrium.
It's not. It's right.
Yeah, it's the same reason why a rock sinks in the water. It's the same reason why a rock sinks in the water and a piece of wood or an apple floats. It's the density of things. It's seeking equilibrium.
That you use, right? An example that you like to put for the equilibrium, is that picture of bromine, right? You like to use that to demonstrate the equilibrium of gas pressure equalizing.
I don't know what you're talking about now. What
I know exactly. Yeah, there's a GIF. I don't know what the meme is, but it's a beaker of bromine that shows the equalization of the two chambers. I think it's
I know what you mean. I think it's like two beakers that are put together. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's bromine.
So you know how two hydrogen is a gas, oxygen is a gas. What happens when two hydrogens meet one oxygen? Remember, gas is mixing all the time and trying to find equilibrium. They run into other gases and mix, and then water forms. So when Miggy says that it goes everywhere, it's getting pushed and influenced by all these other gases and forces that. The wind, you know what I mean? That's what it means. So it goes everywhere, and they're trying to go to where they belong. Like helium's trying to go up, runs into. Yeah, that's what I wanted to add.
Okay. Yeah. So to further demonstrate gravity having an effect on Earth is to continue to go deeper into the ocean where the pressure increases. So the closer you get to the bottom of the Earth.
Owlishness, we're not breathing ocean water, though. We're talking about the air that you and I breathe.
Right, I'm demonstrating gravity. I'm not demonstrating air.
No, gravity needs to be demonstrated by the way air is not floating off into the vacuum of space.
It needs to be. I'm demonstrating
It's a bad analogy, though. Owlishness.
How is it a bad analogy?
Because we're not breathing ocean water. We're breathing air.
That. I'm not saying we're breathing ocean water. I'm demonstrating.
Well, you're using ocean water. You're using ocean water, and it's not.
You're not listening again.
It's a bad demonstration. It's a bad demonstration.
No, you're just not listening. Listen. I'm trying to show that there is such a thing as gravity.
Yeah, holding the gas. How is it holding the gas?
No, you don't cut me off, because if you continue to go down...
In water?
You're this
Not gas.
No. Listen, this demonstrates that when pressure
Not
increases.
It's not gas.
Miggy, my man.
It's not gas, owlishness. It's not gas. You have to use it. If you know, then why are you using it as an
spiraling,
example?
my dude. You have to listen.
No, I'm not spiraling. I'm actually correcting you. You're using water when we're talking about gas.
I understand that. I'm not talking about gas right now.
We need to be talking about gas.
No. Listen, you want demonstratable things.
Of gas.
Want demonstration
of gas.
Gravity.
Of gas. Holding gas.
Okay, I already did that.
Gravity holding gas. No, you didn't.
I did that.
No, you didn't. You're using ocean water. You're using ocean water. You're not using gas.
You obviously don't want to
stick to gas. I obviously want to stick to gas. Obviously.
Okay.
So let's stick to gas.
Okay. Well, you don't want to hear. Okay.
Ocean water? No, I don't, because that's ocean water. It's gonna get difficult because you're not using gas, and so gravity influencing gas needs to be what we're talking about.
You're not listening to me.
I am.
When I tell you about pressure being more.
No, it's not pressure. It's gas pressure, my good lady.
What kind of pressure? Are you
gas pressure.
About? Gas pressure.
Yes, ma'am. Gas pressure.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So, as I have already shown.
What have you shown?
I have shown that the dry ice.
Yeah, right? Went everywhere. Yeah. It's not
it went everywhere. However, it is not going up.
Yeah, because it's denser than the air that it surrounds it. But it's that's the point. Also, yeah.
So
the point is
showed
this.
That the density of certain density of certain elements of certain compounds are contained within themselves.
No, they have a direction.
This brings it back to gravity. And this brings it back. Brings it back to gravity, right?
No, it doesn't bring it back to gravity. It brings it back to the assumption that you think gravity is influencing this, and it's not.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an assumption because here's the thing, right? So no, 1 second. So what you're saying is the dry ice is going down, right? But we're telling you that it's going in any and all directions, even after some time goes by. So you're thinking that the dry ice will just remain on the floor, and it does not, owlishness.
Yeah.
So it actually goes everywhere, even up, owlishness, even up. So gravity does not.
Down, right.
Right. So that gravity loses.
However, that's
the idea.
Everything.
The idea that gravity is holding a vector of down is incorrect in this instance.
Okay.
Okay. So now that you agree. So what else can we have to provide evidence of gravity? Because I've just shown you, even dry ice, it still has a vector of all directions. It doesn't only have a vector of down, which is your claim that gravity is influencing the gas.
Does the sun also affect or influence the gas? I think it would warm up. It might warm up the air, the cold air, and then up it goes, right? Running into stuff again.
Changes the direction.
Does the sun affect the air?
The dry ice. We're sticking to the dry ice for just a moment because that's what he's talking about.
Yeah.
What do you mean the sun affecting the dry ice?
Like it would warm up it would warm the cold
elements.
No, I mean what I'm saying is the cold air that's on the ground is going to warm up, whether it's by the sun or whatever. The room temperature is going to warm it, and then it's going to rise because warm air rises, cold air. Yep, it's denser, so it's beneath.
Additional influences to that. You're adding UV rays,
and that's how we get hurricanes. This is how we get hurricanes.
Gas pressure changes.
Yeah.
Gas pressure, it's a dynamic. So the Earth has a dynamic gas pressure. It's always moving around. It's very dynamic. High and to low pressure is always being swirled around on this Earth. So we have different difference in pressures, differential pressure, I should say. That's a better way to say it. Differential pressure you're going to have on the different weather patterns that we have. So we're always going to have a differential in pressure. It's always continuously in fluctuation. This is always going to be the case. There isn't a vector of down influencing the gases that are containing the gases. That in that instance, you're proven incorrect to say that that's the way the element charts are working. So everything's going to go to its equilibrium and be held down by gravity. That is your idea. but the influence on gravity, or excuse me, on the elements from gravity, doesn't have any effect in the instance of gas. Because when we show you gas is moving in every and all directions, that is true. That's a true statement. You can look it up. We're not making this up to win an argument. This is just a natural law of things. We make our observations. We see gas do what it does, and it doesn't matter if it's CO2 or what is it, helium? What is it? Superfluoride, helium. It doesn't matter what man-made gas you invoke. It's still going to dissipate.
Superchlorofluoride?
That could be the one.
Hexachlorofluoride.
Hexafluoride. Yeah, that's the one.
Hexachlorofluoride.
But what I'm saying, these are man-made gases. And even if we invoke those, they're still going to be like in a state of more.
My bad. Hexafluoride. Sulfur hexafluoride.
Sulfur hexafluoride. Yeah, that's correct. But they're going to be in a more dense state than the air that you and I are breathing. So therefore, you can put them in a in a fish tank, or things can float on them and whatnot. And you can, it's just you can do different things with them. But the same way that the CO2, right, is going to dissipate, the sulfur hexafluoride will dissipate also. So it doesn't matter. Over time, the idea that gravity is going to continuously layer these things and hold them into a place is incorrect. Because gases move into any and all directions dependent on the ambient air temperature and also the direction in which they are influenced by other gases, like Bong was saying. So we are looking at the natural observation of this. So what your idea of gravity holding gases down would be incorrect. It's an assumption being drawn out by these globalist agenda that are you now trying to repackage and taught to us or told to us in a way that makes sense to you, but it does not suffice or is not sufficient for the answer if gravity is actually containing the gas, because it doesn't do such a thing. It doesn't contain gases. So the demonstration of gravity containing the gas has not been given to anyone.
Okay.
That's just an assertion that you're making.
Okay.
But if it was, then everything would be held down completely. Nothing would go up. It would be a vector of down with everything. And that's just not the case.
Why does the helium balloon go up and an apple goes down, would fall off a tree?
It's an object and medium relationship, owlishness. That's what we have here.
Sorry, are you asking me a question?
Yes.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
You're asking me why. You're asking me why helium goes up and an apple falls down.
Yeah, like if gravity isn't isn't a thing, like we're told, like what would describe, help us understand, like why then? You know what I mean? Like how are we going to replace this? Yeah. What's the cause? What do you think?
Helium is lighter than air. If you look back at the elements, the elemental table, we can see that.
Why isn't gravity holding the balloon down when you drop it? You drop a helium balloon, it goes up every time. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, but where's gravity?
Than air.
Yeah, but what happened to gravity?
Still there.
Where?
It's lighter than air.
Doesn't appear to be there.
Okay.
Gravity loses its influence on helium.
Yeah. It does.
Okay then. All right then. So there's not a vector of down. Well, I know that. So do you. But gravity loses its effect on things that seem to be going in opposition to it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I wanted to just remove gravity and understand the real thing. Like what is taught in school. You know what I mean? Like Archimedes' principle. That we are displacing, right, water, the medium, right, with our mass. Yeah, and heavy things sink down, right, and light things go up because the density differences. You know what I mean? Difference in densities. That's why the cold air from the dry ice went down, because it's super dense, and then as the heat and hot air goes up, right? Because that's the way things have been configured. You know what I mean?
So the law of nature is what he's talking about, owlishness.
You mean configured?
The law of nature. I'm stating it again. He's talking about the law of nature. So the things the way that things find their equilibrium that's just the way it is with nature. Things are gonna find its rest at its at their equilibrium state. Like whatever gases you're using, it within the medium of air, let's say, or whatever control variable you have, but they're gonna find their equilibrium state.
Yeah, but what I really wanted to get us to is that there are 4 fundamental forces that are taught in school, right? And gravity is one, the strong nuclear force and the weak nuclear force, that's 3, and then the last one, electromagnetism. So out of these 4, only electromagnetism is what we really work with on this scale. Everything, all the other 3, those are all theoretical. You know what I mean? But strong and weak nuclear force, that's something else. But they're theoretical. So we know that the real force is electromagnetic.
Magnetism. All right. So let me just get to the end of the 3 points. These are our 3 questions, right? We still haven't figured out what's holding the gas pressure. Gravity wasn't sufficient because gases go in all directions. So going into this, the idea or the answer between you, Ganso, and Fauda was gravity. And so what we're learning right now is that these gases go into any and all directions. They're very dynamic, so they operate within the air that you and I breathe, and so they're going to have a representation of equilibrium due to the fact that they're more dense in the air, and also after some time they dissipate within the air, so they're going to have a direction or a vector of up. Not just down, and sideways in all kinds of directions. They're going to go in all directions. So gravity doesn't have the influence, as previously thought, to contain anything. So gases cannot be contained by the notion that gravity is containing them. So gravity is insufficient to contain the gases of Earth, holding itself within the vacuum of space, according to the mainstream rhetoric. However, that's going to be restated once again as what gravity is. You might have a thought process behind what gravity is, but even the mainstream science communicators don't have that information. When they're asked the question, what is gravity? They respond with, gravity, what it is? I don't know. That is their answer. When your answer is, well, this is gravity, and you have no knowledge on this subject. And it sounds like, because you're holding on to this story, I'm going to go ahead and conclude towards the end, but I have to hear the conclusion from you guys. You concede that you understand the vacuum of space being the medium that the Earth resides in cannot be proven by the way that you say with just gravity, because you can't provide evidence that gravity is holding the gases in the Earth, because there is no such demonstration of gravity containing a gas.
Can I add something too about gravity?
So but real quick, I just want to hear the concession before we move anywhere, Bong. And then once I wrap it up, I'm gonna just give it to everyone else. Ganso, Fauda, did you guys fall asleep on this? Or did you give up? One of the two.
Yeah, man, they're dead.
You guys are dead?
No, hello?
Yeah, so
I'm here, sorry, my bad.
last point.
What?
The last.
Oh yeah.
This is Custard's last stand. So either the globe is gonna be propped up with your guys' understanding that gravity's holding everything down, or the gases that we understand can go into any and all directions. That gravity has no influence on them. The idea of it, anyways. If you want to continue, we can. We'll keep going. Until you finally understand. Yeah, but we're waiting for the concession right now. If there's no concession, then we'll continue to move forward. Ganso, Fauda, and owlishness. What say you?
But I agree, bro. Gravity doesn't exist.
I'm not saying that it doesn't exist. What I'm telling you is that the information given to you about what gravity is, the theory of it, anyways. Because we have little g and big G, but I won't get into that. I'll just wait for you guys to tell me. Guys, this is your moment. You can continue.
I concede.
Owlishness?
Oh, yeah. No, I have no idea what I'm talking about.
All right. So let's go ahead and just put a pin on all of this and just say that the Earth measuring with curvature, right? Who has done it any time in history? The answer was, I don't know. The second one, axial rotation. We hadn't had a sufficient answer for that. due to the full cause pendulum fallacy. So that would be, I don't know either, because there's many things that could influence that. So we've gotten to that much. So we don't know. What else could it be? And then the third one is the vacuum of pressure. The vacuum next to that resides to the air pressure that you and I breathe. That the gases containing within are held down by gravity is insufficient. So with all of these things, the Earth having curvature, spinning in the vacuum of space is just a belief that's been propped up by mainstream and given to you, and now you believe it. And so, because of it being a strong belief within you, you still think that the Earth will continue to be a globe in your mind, but it does not exist in reality. Because if it did, it would be self-evident. It could be proven to anyone that would be inquisitive about it and not have such a hard time when saying, what else can it be? It would just be. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it at that. Thank you guys for your participation, even though it was a bit difficult, but we reached the end so that you guys know, everybody understands that you guys don't have any knowledge to support the Earth being a globe. Just believe it to be so. And if you continue to believe, that's fine. It's just a belief.
Say only, though, so.
I know, I did. I had to, because like, usually people don't get to the... Yeah.
Only flat.
It's only.
There is no other way. You only believe it. Only.
Only. Excuse you.
Only.
Be respectful.
All right, so I'm gonna open it up now. You guys can come in. Like that's all I needed to do. Just get them through that. Bong, did you want to add something to the end of the gravity question?
Yeah, just Newtonian gravity is what they use on Earth, and Einsteinian gravity, relativity is in space. Space-time, but on Earth it's just an acceleration. But things don't keep accelerating because the less dense something is, it's eventually going to reach something called velocity. I forget. It's a constant speed. Like a feather, it's not going to keep accelerating down at 9.8. Yeah, but this is saying if you do this in the... So anyways, I just wanted to point that out, that even if you go with gravity, you're going to run into problems.
Yeah, thank you, Bong. We're going to open up some mics here. I think Take a Phil Pill is muted. I'm going to unmute him. Was he muted for a reason? Because I'm unmuting him. All right, Take a Phil Pill, you're unmuted. And TWIGU, please come in with your question, if you have one. You said you want to use satellites so bad, but we won't believe it. Well, first you got to provide evidence that the medium of the vacuum of space exists, sir. Which that hasn't been done right now, as demonstrated. There's no way that you can do that.
Do you not believe in satellites, or?
No, I do. I think that technology can exist above our heads, and the idea of how they're being put up there. Oh, thank you, Sheepdog. Yeah, so that's one great. There was something. Listen, I've just saw this. It's mainstream news, so everybody can know. You can just look it up. It came out 2 hours ago, but I saw the posting on Twitter. It was posted on Twitter like way before, like yesterday, that this particular Chinese satellite was traveling over America and they shot it down and yada yada, blah blah blah. But so it was on a balloon.
They shot it down.
Yeah. We all saw it.
Yeah.
They shot it down.
Yeah, they shot it down
according to
North Carolina.
Yeah, but it was America, bro. Like, go look at. Somebody put up the link for Bong. Just anyway. The thing about it is, there's a lot of denial about this. Technology floating around our heads with a balloon. But then here's the thing. When you hear about it in the mainstream news, you're like, why? Yeah, of course there's satellites on balloons. I mean, of course. Like, come on. Like, what else is it? Like, yeah, that's what we've been telling you. Technology does exist on balloons, guys. And satellites do exist. There you go. Yeah,
there's also glider. There's also gliders, really big gliders, solar powered. Yes, this has been since 2000, year 2000. Drones and but balloons are much more effective.
Yeah, but think about this though, right? Because you guys are stating that satellites are in LEO, low Earth orbit. Well, we're telling you that they're on these balloons, and you're saying balloon technology. Bah! You guys are silly. And look at this. It came out on mainstream news.
Weather balloons, they still use them to this day.
No, but I'm saying though, like the idea of satellites being on balloons seem ridiculous to you guys. That think that the Earth is a globe.
Not at all.
Well, of course not now.
No, it's always been. That's what weather balloons are.
Well, of course,
but I've always believed in feather balloons. Wow.
Do you think there are no satellites without balloons, or?
No, they think they're all floating around with balloon technology they have been using since, what is it, guys? Now, you correct me here, because I know
they
that
all use balloons?
Wait, so
yes,
every
sir.
single satellite in
No. Like Bong was saying, there's some that are solar powered. So we got other technology, not just balloons, but solar powered, and perhaps some other. But they're not in the place that you think they are. We can say they're high altitude and pretty far up. And I have I have a citation actually. Where is my citation?
Oh damn.
Wait, what do you mean they're not in the place we think they are?
Okay, you guys think they're in Leo, low Earth orbit.
Yeah.
They're not there. They're in the highest parts of our sky.
Yeah, they're in like the second layer of the atmosphere, like starting from space.
No, that's just what you're thinking. You don't know this. You're saying things.
There's not a lot that we use satellites for. Like we use underwater cables, fiber optic. So if you try to think about what kinds of services, and who those services would go to, these things are slow, man. If they're going through the sky,
dude,
it's not as fast as wireless. I mean, as a mobile, cell phone.
Yeah, you guys have to give me a moment because I have to look through either I saved it in my bookmarks or my history. I know it's somewhere. It is Project Loon. Does anybody have that link? Because I know I saved it somewhere, but I have to show these guys.
What about like the Starlink satellites? You think they're just lying about where they are?
No, bro. I'm telling you, they're on balloons. Like, how many times do I have to? Am I
pretty sure the Starlink?
These planes stay in the sky for 4 years, 4 to 8 years. These planes can stay up there for years.
Why do you say they can't be?
No, I'm not saying they can't be on balloons, but not all of them are on balloons.
How do you know that? How do you know that?
Bro, telescope, bro. All you need a telescope, bro. It's not that far away.
Telescope? What can you see with a telescope, man? Come on, tell me that.
Saturn with a telescope. You can't see a satellite.
Can you see a satellite?
You can absolutely see a satellite with a telescope.
Show me satellites through telescope. Go ahead.
Well, if I show you a picture, you're gonna say it's fake.
I also realize we have cameras on a lot of them, right?
We have cameras. That's you know what I told you. You can have technology flying around your head and taking aerial pictures. I'm not saying you can't do that, but what you're claiming is that you're saying that they're in a place where they're not. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. You believe in your mind, oh, it's the Earth and they're flying around the globe. No, they're not. They're flying around your head, but they're not flying around the globe.
Have you guys ever noticed that planes?
Link here.
Have you guys ever noticed that planes at nighttime, the lights when you look at it in the sky look like stars?
You know what's weird?
Wow.
I'm going to show you the citation. I'm going to show you. Listen, I'm going to show you the citation, and you're going to be like, "Duh, dude, that's what I was saying." I was like, "Bullshit, dude. You are not saying this. You were saying that they're in low Earth orbit and they're in space." And I'm going to show you exactly what goes against what you're saying, that they're not in that place you're saying. And it's going to be by not me, a company. And you're going to be like, "Oh shit, no, I agree with what this is," because it's not me saying it. 1 second. What's it?
Hey man,
this actually
thanks for talking to me tonight. It's almost 6 a.m. So
no, you're not dipping out, man. You're not leaving till the party's very, very end, till the very end of the party.
It's 6 a.m. I have to go to bed.
Fucking party pooper over here.
I am. Yeah, I have to. It's 6 a.m. I'm sorry, man. I appreciate it. It was fun.
Yeah, same here. I haven't had a good discussion like that in a minute.
Yeah, it was
thanks
fun.
Thanks for being a good sport. Yeah.
No problem.
We'll see you again later.
Yeah. I'm always popping in and out.
Yeah, cool.
She's always watching, Wazowski. Always watching.
Yeah, I've been here a bunch of times, so I'm always popping in and out. Sometimes I say more, sometimes I don't say a lot at all, but I hang out sometimes.
Hey, but you said a lot tonight, Alice. That was pretty awesome.
Hey, can you wait till let me give you this link real quick before you leave.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead, drop the link.
All right, here it goes, guys. And please look through this. Don't just dismiss it.
I don't know what you were talking about with the thing, but I'll look at it anyway.
Loon.
Yeah, I just put it in there right now. Yeah, click the link.
Oh, what is that? Loon.
Yeah, it's discontinued by the way, but it's still, the information is there. It's sufficient to answer all of your questions.
Oh, this is interesting.
Very. And
I was a radio man in the Navy, so that's how I know some stuff.
And it's broken down. It's broken down very easily digestible for everyone. So please go look through that. Scroll down, and there you go. Mic drop for me. That's my mic drop on you guys right there.
Yeah, that was really good, Miggy.
Wait, where does it say that satellites aren't the size we think they are?
Now, would you just look at the information, Ganzo? Jeez Louise.
I didn't say shit. What did I say?
This is just a balloon. This is just a balloon for internet connectivity in areas where they don't have connectivity.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm assuming it communicates with another. I didn't read the whole thing. No, it uses
go
LTE.
through it.
It uses LTE.
There you go. Yeah.
Communicates with towers, with cell towers. That's how it's going to work.
Well, yeah, LTE is cell towers.
Yeah.
It's not. Obviously, it's not used anymore because the LTE connection is no longer a thing. Now we've moved on to 5G, or we've moved on to gigabit connections instead of.
Yeah, I mean, 5G is a shorter wave.
Scroll down that page before you go to bed.
I scrolled it.
Scroll down that page. Keep looking because there's a lot of stuff in there, and you're gonna be like, shit, I didn't know this.
Knowing is half the battle, isn't it?
Oh, that's what I just learned. I just scrolled through that and learned all those things I just told you.
And by the way, keep looking at this because this is what we've always been saying. So.
Okay. That's cool.
All right. Thanks, owlishness. See ya.
Great. I gotta head out. I have to go to bed. Good night.
Good night.
Have a good one, guys.
Yeah.
You too.
Bye.
See you next time.
That was a great conversation, Miggy, with Alex and the other guys that were in here.
I have a weird sleep schedule because ever since I'm started to work nights, like my friggin' what do you call it? That like the clock that you have that puts like, you go to bed and you wake up and stuff, like that's all screwed up, man. Like all jacked. No, your body.
Oh, your body clock.
I'm all jacked up, bro. Like,
listen to my body clock.
Body clock. Listen to me. Like, does everything you say have to sound like a radio announcer?
Not everything that it's my
rhythm. That's thank you.
My microphone's fault. It's my microphone's fault. It's not me.
Hey, you guys take a look at that link that I put in there. It's really, really good, and it'll help you like to explain like the balloon technology. And a lot of people would be like, balloons, yeah, isn't that balloons? And you're like,
So I thought you were going to send a link that like disproves non-balloon satellites, but this is just one technology that uses balloons, right? Or that uses
yeah, the idea that internet connection can be supported by balloon technology has been in play for quite some time. Oh, it can only be Starlink and they can only be in LEO. It's like, no, man. This is showing you that you can have that technology and it supports. I know you're saying because I'm giving you a citation.
I've never looked into this type of stuff. I don't even know much about Starlink. So,
but what I'm saying is people would disagree straight away. They would we had conversations with people about satellites and that this can happen on balloons. They'd be like, "No, it can't. It can't happen on balloons. What are you, crazy? They can only happen in low Earth orbit, man. They send them up in rockets and whatnot." They're like, dude, you're so freaking dumb, dude. Like, do you know how easy it is to put them in balloons? They have.
There's a big difference between dumb and ignorant, isn't there?
Of course.
So I mean, we have often people come in here and start spouting stuff when they're actually the ultimate. They come in here with the fallacy of what is the fallacy where they're just like, I know we did this and we did that and when they
argument of ignorant,
argument ad populum. That's the fallacy, and it's just like, bro, dude, I used to believe that too, but now I don't anymore. and then we present information, and it's just like Miggy posted that article. You can skim over it, and you can pretty much you can just be like, oh yeah, I've heard that. Boom, boom, boom. You can just kind of skim over the article and it's like, oh.
You know what's funny though? What's funny though is that just like yesterday, I would say, we saw that they shot down that Chinese spy satellite on a balloon, and it's like, okay, so where was the spy satellite in low Earth orbit? I don't think so. It was on a balloon. You guys are something else when you're like, well, it could only be in low Earth orbit. Like, dude, didn't you just hear mainstream rhetoric saying they shot down? Oh yeah, I heard it, man. It was there in the news. It was like, duh. Of course they're on balloons.
A balloon?
You weren't saying that shit before. You were like, dude, they're all in low Earth orbit, man. And then they're shooting one down on a balloon, and you're like, well, yeah, they're on balloons. That's so dumb, dude. I hate that. Like, and then you guys are like, oh. Yeah, of course they're on balloons.
There's a difference between being dumb and ignorant. I mean, you watch the news, and it's like, oh, did you see this? Well, they said it on the news, so it must be real.
Yeah, it must be true now. Yeah. But we've been saying this whole time.
And there's the new telescope, Sophia. It's on the 747. Not a balloon. It's on a plane.
Sophia was
15 years ago, bro.
Sophia was Hubble. Sophia came down when Hubble came down.
Yeah.
Well, supposedly Hubble's still out there doing shit.
No, I used to look at
Hubble came down. Hubble came down. That new telescope that went out there. I can't remember what it's called. Somebody might know.
James Webb.
James Webb.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah. James Webb. It was, yeah.
But
they sent astronauts to repair the Hubble. I had a story about that back in the day.
It's just it's good. Like the mainstream is now showing you Chinese satellites shut down by a balloon. I'm like, dude, this is rich, man. Like, I can't wait to rub this in all the globe earthers that come in here's faces. Then I want to hear them say, well, yeah, of course they're on balloons. What do you think? Spy satellites are on low Earth orbit? No, man, they're on balloons. Like, I want to hear, because the mainstream said it, so now I hear all the globe earthers be like, yeah, of course, I've been saying that all along. Bullshit, dude. You've been in here fighting us tooth and nail saying that it was in low Earth orbit, like these spy satellites. I hate that, bro. That's one thing. The moment it comes out on the mainstream news, they're like, duh. I've always been saying that.
Yeah, those anti-flat earthers, the thing about them, they're not dumb or ignorant. They're anti-flat earth.
Yeah, they love to hate us, man. They do.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it.
And so, suck it up, Buttercup.
It's Coke, you owe me a Coke.
Irene.
Hey,
Irene.
Come on, Irene. Oh,
you know what I mean? At this moment, you mean everything. We can hear it, dude. Jeez Louise. Never a dull moment with you, bro. Hey, why is Dylan LXIX muted? You could stir up some trouble or what? He's got on his about me, women are not my equals. Like, well, thank you for that information.
That was not even, dude. There was some women kicking ass in here right now tonight.
I wish Kim was like laying into these guys.
Yeah, bro. Kim was.
So he must have came out of some.
Even on the globe side, we had some women kicking ass in here. So,
bro, I was like, Kim, you're beating a dead horse, and then, like 5 seconds later, she's back to beating that shit.
But you came out of a woman, so what the hell? And she had to raise your sorry ass when you were a helpless baby. So what the hell? Right?
EWIGU. What are you posting, bro? Chinese.
Man must not have had a mom or something.
Hey, oh, thank you. Yeah, look at this. Look at what they put in here. Look at the link that TWIGU put up. A balloon is spying on the U.S. from, and this is the stupid red. Oh, they even have a video that's connected to it.
Oh, this is Time Magazine, right?
Yeah, but look. Let me click off the video. I do want to see the video, but it's like a general with like a bunch of pins on his chest talking about it. Hang on.
Well,
it's the topic. The topic says a balloon is spying on the U.S. from the sky. Here's why China may be using old-fashioned surveillance technology when satellites exist. What the freaking hell, bro?
Went to the fucking moon.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's just there's a cyber whatchamacallit, some kind of cyber attack pandemic that's coming. They say it's going to be worse.
This article came out yesterday.
They said it was going to be worse than the last pandemic. And how can that be? That just means more people are going to die. WEF, the Charles Schwartz guy, or the Schwartz guy, right? So this could be like one of those, you know what I mean, predictive programming / false flags / oh no, China's attacking us.
This is even better. I'm looking at it now. Here's where the article starts. I mean,
it's going to take away more rights.
You just read the title of the article. Check this, the body of the article. Check this out.
Cyber attack is going to take away more rights to use the internet.
The earliest military application of a balloon is often credited to Zhu Lang, a well-known strategist in dynastic China, whatever the fuck that means.
Yeah.
That was in the 3rd century when he used kerosene-doused cloth to propel a sky lantern that alerted allies in the neighboring communities of a looming attack. In the almost 2,000 years since, balloon technology advanced and was used increasingly for
reconnaissance missions. Oh my god!
Yeah, this is so.
Isn't it pointing it? It's pointing it out. Yeah, it's pointing it out though, guys. Like it's telling you, like, look how old they've been using balloon technology. And I've been saying this shit. Haven't I been saying this shit? I've been saying this shit.
Yeah, you have. On Wednesday, a mysterious white orb was spotted floating above Billings, Montana, and U.S. security officials suspected it almost certainly to be a Chinese military surveillance balloon.
Almost certainly. They're like, hey, we think it's a Chinese spy balloon, guys. I don't know what it is. Let's go send out a plane, go shoot that shit down.
It's Chinese. So it's just like, who's our enemy?
Yeah, but the thing is, you're going to be asking the question, how the hell did they penetrate U.S. airspace all the way to freaking Montana, you guys?
Montana, yeah. Exactly.
Oh, my God. Yeah, someone's not doing their job. Somebody fell asleep at the wheel there.
Yeah, however, even though the balloon was hovering over sensitive sites, including a field housing U.S. nuclear missiles, the Biden administration ultimately decided not to shoot it down, as officials advised that it doesn't pose a threat for now. But it's
debris might.
Yeah.
Look at it.
The debris might pose a threat because if they shut it down, it might hit some farm in Montana or some shit.
And look at the bullshit that they say afterwards, Hilo. We have no intention to violate the territory or airspace of any sovereign country. Mao Ning, a spokesperson for China's foreign ministry, said at a briefing on Friday, "We're gathering and verifying the facts. We hope both sides can handle the matter together in a cool-headed and prudent manner." The ministry later admitted that the balloon was from China, but described as a civilian airship used for research, mainly meteorological purposes.
Steered off course.
Oh shit! It says, "How unusual are spy balloons these days?" This isn't the first time in recent history that a balloon from China has been spotted by foreign security officials. After the sighting this week, the U.S. Department of Defense said in a statement, "Instances of this kind of balloon activity have been observed previously over the past several years." Last February, authorities in Taiwan said that they discovered weather balloons deployed by Chinese People's Libertarian Army floating above the self-governing island that China claims as its territory. While some speculated the balloons could be used for surveillance, officials in Taipei accepted that they were meant for meteorological observations only. China has been developing new balloon surveillance technology for years, but it's not the only country to do so. Last May, Politico reported that the Pentagon spent around $3.8 million on balloon projects over the past 2 years and planned to spend more than $27 million on the inflatable tech in a fiscal year in 2023.
That's a drop in the bucket, $27 million.
Mm-hmm. The balloons, according to the report, will collect data and transmit information to aircraft.
This is fear porn. Fucking fear porn.
I know, but like it says, why use balloons when satellites exist? See, here's a question that the article's asking. China has an extensive satellite network. In November 2022 report, the Defense Department said China's intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance capable ISR satellite fleet had more than 260 systems, second only to the U.S. as of the end of 2021. A senior defense official noted on Thursday that for China, the balloon flying over Montana has a limited additive value from an intelligence collective perspective. Limited.
Well, sure, they only said that because that China got nothing from it. But guess who got something from it? China and America. They're, whether or not you believe it, China and America are, buddy.
Look at what it says here.
They're not against each other.
Oh, this is a great article. I'm going to save this article, actually.
Yeah, it's pretty good, man.
It's got a lot of meat on this bone.
Well, some people don't see it that way, but that's true because what they said about this, what they're doing through the media about this stupid balloon in Montana, really is telling about what they're trying to manipulate the populations of China and America into like I said, it's fear porn. They're actually
but the administration was like, well, we don't know if that's a spy satellite or not. Let's shoot it down. Oh, let's not shoot it down.
Yeah.
And then they wind up shooting it down.
Yeah, let's let it go. Let's let it go. It's just like there ain't shit in Montana for the most part. I mean, but whatever. It's like let's not shoot it down because it might hit somebody's cattle farm, or it might hit Butte. Which dude, if it hit Butte, but it's like balloon satellites are a thing, have been for a while.
Or it might fall.
This is the introduction to. It's the slow giant that we've already known about for a while.
Yeah, of course.
There's no fucking satellites.
Or it might fall down to the ground and everybody will run up with their cell phones and find out that it was made in the USA.
Yeah, and that's why you have to keep everybody. Maybe putting a spin on this art.
Remember that satellite that went down a couple of years ago, or was it last year or a couple of years ago? It was a Samsung satellite that came down in fucking South America.
The selfie satellite? Is it?
Yeah, something like that. It's like, bro, man.
Look what it says here. Yet even with satellite technology surpassing some abilities of balloons, James Char, a research fellow with the China program at the S. Rajmataram School of International Studies in Singapore, tells Time that spy balloons have some operational advantages. For example, balloons can weather extreme conditions, he says, and are less expensive to deploy and operate compared to satellites. Chinese Academy of Science scholars found in 2020 that despite the harsh environments at more than 68,000 feet above ground, the high-altitude balloon has a long endurance time which can achieve sustained and wider coverage for regional observation and detection. It's harder to be spotted by radar as well, given the fact that they're simpler in terms of technology, Char adds. U.S. officials admitted the balloon flying over North America this week was first spotted by civilians on a plane. See, that's what happened. The dirty little secret got out.
Yeah, it got out. I'm saying the
Well, it's
USA
damage control.
and fucking and China are in it together, and somebody fucked up.
Yeah, it's damage control. What you're seeing here is a mirage. It's damage control.
Mirage. Yeah.
So yeah, it's damage control. Is what it is. It says high altitude balloons can also be trucks for any number of platforms, whether it be communication and data link nodes, ISR, tracking, air and missile threats, and without the predictable orbits of satellites. Tom Caracal, Senior Fellow of International Security Program and Director of Missile Defense Project at the Center for Strategic International Studies, geez, that's a mouthful, told Politico. And though the technology is old, says Beck Shrimpton, Director at the Australian Strategic Policy Institute, balloons can complement surveillance technology in orbit, while they can be built and deployed at a fraction of the cost. According to 2020 analysis in defense publication Armada International, the development, launch, operation, and insurance of a single satellite can cost up to $300 million. Another potential... Yeah.
Without going through all that, hold on. I just went to the bottom of the article. Here's the last one. It is a threat, no doubt, Shar says, but how serious is it? I think it's pretty clear. If it's serious enough, I'm sure something more drastic would have been done by the U.S. establishment.
Maybe like go to war or some shit? Like, what are you talking about?
I don't know. You're going to have to figure that shit out by yourself.
Take it for what it is.
Why didn't they catch it over
the last statement of the article on Time from Time magazine, bro.
Yeah, here's their quotes. This is what they would say. I think it's another demonstration of the Chinese military's adherence to operations below the threshold of war. That's number one, says Shar. Clearly, for reasons that are known to everyone, he adds, the U.S. and the Chinese don't want to escalate matters above.
Go ahead and read the same one I just read. Go ahead.
Yeah, and that would be the conclusion of it, to where he's also saying it's a threat, no doubt, Char says. Like, who's fear porn, man? This is stupid. Like, just because they got found out, whatever satellite this was that they were using, it was probably
it was no threat to anyone. It was just an accident. They're obviously using satellites or whatever. I mean, it's really not even. It doesn't really have anything to do with flat Earth or anything. It's their political freaking stupidness, and really has more to do with Hollywood and news and money and shit that we're a part of, but we don't really give a shit about.
But I wonder why it wasn't caught over Alaska or Canada. I mean, right? Like, I mean, what?
Because it had to be put over some sensitive areas where they could give it like the reasoning behind why they would shoot it down.
Sure,
it was over some sensitive areas, man. We didn't
pay attention to it. Yeah, sure, because Montana's, it's not densely populated like New York or whatever. Anything happens in New York or LA, that shit's like hot shit, right? So maybe we should pay attention to it.
And that didn't do anything about it. Like, seriously? Oh, we didn't even know about it. Really? What are you guys doing?
Yeah, just keep it looking.
Really dumb. Anyway, just because it's relevant, it's just bringing the question into everybody's minds about like what people from the Globert side are saying, and they reject that this has anything to do with technology. What do you mean? How do they have internet above us? It has to only be like low Earth orbit satellites. Like, no, doofus. They're telling you here, even in this article, that they've been having like many different types of technologies up there, like on balloons. Like, and if that's the case, then why wouldn't they keep doing that? It's cheaper than the idea of setting something. And so what are the other thing that they're doing is that they are setting something up in a rocket. So what is that if they're not going to the place they are? That's just an expenditure that they're milking the public for. That's not a place, because obviously the technology for balloons is what they're doing. That's a satellite. That is what a satellite is.
But I think these other satellites that you see on TV, they're supposed to be in space, that the government uses. I think those are actually on airplanes because we were taught, to use that there were these footprints. It's where the satellite is above. It seems to be kind of, I don't know. It's going at a certain speed, so it's always moving around. So I think those might be on airplanes. These kinds that stay up for years, solar powered.
Yeah, they could be on some other technology. We don't know. But that's the thing. It's a speculation. This isn't, however. This is not a speculation. We know they're on balloons. These satellites.
Yeah. Then there's the traffic. There's the air traffic, right? There's routes.
Yeah, but think about it, man. Look how far inland it was already before they spotted it.
I know, man. This is like
somebody's dropping the ball, man. Like trying to figure out. Like that balloon made its way all the way to Montana before somebody.
It was on national news, so it must have been intentional. So,
well, because somebody in a plane said, "Oh shit, what is that?" Like, and they made a big fuss about it. So there was damage control. Then there must have been a report on the plane. Like the pilot must have went back to the tower. The tower then contacted the officials. The officials then were like, "Well, we got to do something about this because like now people know that a balloon satellite is there." So
by now we know how to look into the news behind the news. I mean, I guess of course we're all conspirators, people call us, or whatever. But this thing about the Chinese balloon. I mean, it's hot shit on news media and stuff like that. And, of course I'm way past that. As a matter of fact, I heard about it, but this is the first time I've actually talked about it because I just saw it on Facebook or something. But this is the first time I've actually looked at an article about it tonight. Because I'm not fascinated with their freaking crazy news nonsense.
The volume always goes up when I try to put in, right? You know what I'm saying?
Do you think that balloon? Excuse me. Do you think that satellite that's in that the live stream voice X right now, if it was falling from the height that it would be in that condition that it's in, especially looking as frail as it does?
Well,
you don't think it would be smashed to bits?
The one that smashed in, there was a Samsung satellite that crashed in South America.
Yeah, but look, striking the ground at such speeds as it does from the altitude that it wouldn't be in that condition. It would be like in pieces, man. Like it would. Think about it.
The balloon would slow it down. No,
but I'm saying it was the balloon wasn't. It didn't float down.
It doesn't even look.
It fell down.
It should be more.
Is that a real picture of the satellite?
Well, that one,
or the balloon satellite, whatever it is. Look at it. It's just like looks like a box that would be delivered on your porch from Amazon.
Those are all images from the articles that were written. So if you scroll up, I've been posting satellite balloon crashes all the way up.
See, it's been happening. So you see it too, right? Yeah, these Samsung balloons. I don't even know what that is. It's like they crash everywhere. It's like, where the fuck are they? And maybe they're from the Elon Musk trick. What is that?
You never know.
Elon Musk satellite launches or whatever, where they have the big string of. What's it called? Oh shit, I can't remember it. Elon Musk, where he's just like, supposedly everybody's looking up in the sky and they see these string of satellites being launched. What's it called?
Freaking, it's 4:00 in the morning. What is Bendy Light doing up at this hour? That guy never sleeps.
No. On Bendy Light, I never wanted to defend a Bendy Light, but I haven't seen that motherfucker in the chat for hours, man.
He's in there.
Thank God, but now he's here. That's all right. All right, Bendy Light, keep your shit in check. Anyway, what's the name of that
light bender? Right, light benders.
Where? No, it wasn't light bender.
No, you have water benders. You have light benders.
He just like put this series of satellites. guy. And everybody's like, look at Elon Musk. He's the hero of the world.
Elon Musk, yeah.
Why? What did he do?
Damn, I can't believe you guys.
What hasn't he done?
Out on this. Just talking about.
Guy's a jack of all trades, man. He'd be like a Zanuck rich version of Zanuck.
Jack of all trades, hero of none.
Yeah. Yep.
I guess I can kind of relate to that dude. I guess that's why a lot of people do relate to that motherfucker.
You're a billionaire? You're a billionaire too?
No. I wasn't born. Dude, that motherfucker was a millionaire before, as he was born. He was born into money, you know. So it's not like he's not a naturally born.
Elon Musk.
He
was a naturally born criminal because money is criminal.
I'm Elon Musk. I like Bernie.
Maybe Elon Musk.
Yeah, you can tell it's real because it looks so fake. Elon Musk.
For certain. You can tell it's real.
We have way better CGI than that. Elon Musk.
Because it looks so fake.
And you can tell it's fake because it looks so real.
You know what? You can turn it around right like that.
Did y'all see the article I just posted?
Yeah. The plywood satellite clear for space launch. It'll burn up in the atmosphere.
Plywood satellite clear for space.
Freaking stupid stuff, man.
Come on, that was good. That was good.
We got Ecological Mystic that's just joined our chat. Ecological Mystic, are you there? And we also got Rion.
Yeah, what's up?
I'll shut up. I'm gonna go smoke.
So Rion, are you there? Rion. Knock knock. Who's there? Rion. All right, Ecological Mystic. Welcome to the chat. It looks like you've been verified already. So, what is your position on the topic of the shape of the Earth question? Where do you sit with that? Do you think the Earth's a globe, or?
I'm a globe head.
Why? That's my question to you.
Because I am not as critical of human institutions, maybe, as you folk.
Human institutions? What the hell are you saying?
What?
Like, I generally view humans as incompetent. I don't think they have the ability to, like, pull the wool over our eyes to that degree.
All right, so what are the evidence? What are the evidence that you have for the claim of the shape of the Earth, ecological?
Various things like NASA photos, you know.
One word answer, right? NASA photos, science, that kind of stuff.
Well,
like there's no hard evidence as into the geometric shape of the Earth being the radius, diameter, circumference being measured. Nothing like that. Nothing really good. Just.
Or we just don't make rulers that big.
We don't make rumors that big.
Rulers.
Rulers?
Yeah.
The heck, dude?
What are you going to use to measure Earth?
He's talking about.
I know that, but I'm saying, how did we measure in the first place? What ruler did we use?
But, we didn't use a ruler. We inferred. We took smaller measurements, and then we
inferred. What do you mean we inferred? Smaller measurements? What smaller measurements? Please point them out to me. Go ahead.
I'm not going to be able to point them out. I mean, I don't.
Why not? You're saying things. I mean, how's that? You can say smaller measurements. Okay, which ones? I can't point them out because you don't know. Perhaps.
I'm just guessing.
I know you are.
Yeah.
So you are guessing, and that's what I'm pointing out to you. I know, Helio. I'm hearing your inference, but what I'm pointing out to you, ecological, is that you're just implying that you say you know. Well, smaller measurements. Which ones? I don't know. Well, then why did you say that?
Because I believe in like some sort of epistemological authority, right? I don't have to know.
Now we're talking about beliefs instead of inference or explanations or any.
You just believe. You just believe that the Earth is a globe. Let's get right down to brass tacks, shall we? You just believe the Earth is a globe. You don't know it is, right? Let's just be honest with ourselves.
Well,
why beat around the bush?
Because I think the belief is a true justified belief.
Yeah, but it's not true. That's a fancy way of saying it's not true. So it's like it's a justified, true, honest, and truly belief of a reality of for real. Like you can't just emphatically make it true just by saying that. You have to actually provide the evidence. No evidence, no truth.
Well, what I'm saying is like the definition I use for the word truth is a justified true belief.
Yeah, but it doesn't make it true.
I've heard that before. So the justified true belief about the globe is the same thing we all used to believe, but we don't anymore. So tell us how we're wrong about it.
Because I don't think it's justified in your case.
I know, but you're using a lot of thought processing. I think I believe like there's nothing involved in the way of providing any evidence ecological. You see that's the problem here? That's a serious issue. When you're just saying things but there's no evidence, then how can we know anything if there's no evidence to prove it?
Well, I think there is evidence. A live feed from the space.
No, you don't. No, that's not evidence. That's propaganda. It's propaganda, dude. It's like them. Check out this video, dude. Check out this picture. Yeah, so what? How do I know that the Earth is a globe? Who measured the damn thing? You don't know that.
It's when I provide what I consider evidence. You call it
propaganda. Propaganda. Not proper.
Ecological mystic. Are you in live stream voice text? The text chat.
I can be.
Oh yeah, it's there, man. Yeah, that's where we're gonna be posting things. I also sent you a little thing. Sorry, Miggy, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm getting behind the psychology as to why you're believing and not actually bringing some evidence. And the belief that you have strongly that the Earth is a globe is just because of the propaganda, not proper, but proper. Yeah, so you're actually the thing about it is though, like I don't fault you for it. We all grew up in the system, right? So every one of us have been brought up, being told that it is a globe and. We got pictures and all that. And why would they lie? We got hundreds of thousands of people on this. It doesn't matter. The evidence doesn't support the fact that the Earth is a globe. No evidence, no globe.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Something like, if we were to measure, like, things on Earth, like, let's say we're shooting a cannonball, or, like, kicking a soccer ball, do you think that those objects obey things like Newton's laws of physics?
I would say natural law. I'd put it that way. But Newton's law is inferring that you were actually trying to get a cause of an effect due to the fact that the Earth is being utilized with the physics of a globe. So every physics that's working on this Earth is due to the fact that it's globular nature, oblate spheroid, let's say. So it's an inference into like why things are happening.
Sure, but all I'm asking really is like, is there any predictive power with these equations like Newton's on Earth that we can use every day? Like we can measure.
Of course. So yeah, I would agree. Yeah, I would agree that like certain things can be utilized in a way that are predictable. Let's say, and you can use some certain math equations to figure things out, like the Magnus effect or.
Okay, now why are certain math equations helpful to predict things, but certain ones aren't?
Well, the ones that we're talking about are the laws of nature. The other ones are theories, are the projected cause of the effects. So the effects can be measured, okay? You can see how fast a block of wood falls to the air, and you can measure the time and just different things, right? Use mathematical formulas to support the case. But when we talk about that would be considered the idea of the gravitational effect, right? Which everybody could, colloquially, we could say that gravity would be understood as like an effect. But the cause, however, is considered as big G, and little g is the effect. Big G is the cause, and the cause is the theory, and the theory is the kind of the assumption as to what is the causing the effect, right? So Newtonian gravity is probably the one you're leaning on at the moment, but it's been superseded by the Einsteinian theory of general relativity, as you may or may not know.
I do.
Okay.
Yeah. But why are certain math equations why do certain ones not work for predicting things?
I don't know which ones you're talking. It sounds very vague. Well, specifically, which one? Like, what are you talking about?
Well, I can't just write random numbers on a board and have it predict anything.
Well, because the effect has to follow like the natural law of things. So if we see something happening, then we can predict because of these things that they are going to happen the very same way in the very same pattern that we've always seen them to work. So with the predictability of them, it's because they've been they have a post-predictability. So we've already seen things happen, and we can measure the time that it takes, and just different like things that.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about things like electromagnetic laws, like through like fiber optics wiring, or in like circuit boards? We utilize all sorts of Maxwell's equations to determine how electromagnetic waves move through a medium, right?
Yeah, like I was saying, like we can explore the different effects and how they take place on this earth, and the machines that operate on the level that they do, utilizing certain things. But what we're doing is we're working with things that we're applying our understandings to. So what we're saying is happening. It may be the cause of those effects might be something different, but the effects, however, can be measured and you can use them practically, right? So those equations are useful in a practical use form, and so you can work with them, but it's not necessarily stating that the superimposed idea that they're working off of is because of the understanding or the underlying physics of it is to be dealt with of a premise that the Earth is what people are claiming it is. So that's the part where it goes wrong. It can't be because the physics are working on a globe, because you have to prove globe first. So if you prove the globe, then the physics that you're saying would be in a way of like, I would say, in line with more or less what you're saying. But if you can't provide the evidence that the Earth is a globe in the first instance, then you can't just then assume that the physics are working like the way they are because of a globe. So the effect that you're trying to show you isn't like, you can't tell me what the assumed cause is unless you are able to prove it. You have to prove the cause of the effect. You can't just say that the effect is because of this particular thing, because the Earth is a globe. You have to prove globe first. Does that make sense?
I think I understand what you're saying, but like, okay. I just wanted to talk about the effects that we agree on, kind of.
It's like I don't disagree with things like when it comes to like, the effects. I don't, because we can all observe these things. So what?
But all the things that we observe use a very predictable kind of pattern that we can write down using these equations.
We could use them as a working average, and they're useful. So like the rate of fall on different elements changes. They're variable. You might think that in a controlled way you can actually get a bowling ball and a feather to fall at the same rate. Different elements, however, fall at different rates, even in considered using in a controlled environment such as a vacuum. And this already has been proven. Like, I don't have to go into too much of that, but I would say as an average, you can more or less hit around the same like fall rate. So the average fall rate would be consistent with the equation that has already been put out. So was it 9.8 meters per second squared, something like this?
Do you think that these like descriptive kind of laws that work on our level that describe these effects that we all see, do you think that they can imply things about things like the moon?
Predictability in the patterns, like the movement and let's say lunar eclipses and things like this. I'm sure. Like post-predictability, the moon works in a cyclical pattern, So definitely, people have been noticing the sky for thousands of years. So why not be able to see if it's cyclical? And like they're able to detect, when things are going to happen because of its post-dictability, because the things are already took place. And so just measuring, times and seasons that the moon is in its like course, then you can come up with like a cyclical pattern of like, oh, I know that in every 5 years this will happen. I know that in every 3 years this will happen. I know that every 10 years this will so the moon goes through its cycles and its patterns, and they're predictable because of their post-dictability. They've already happened. So they've been observed.
If the Earth was flat, would we have the same physics laws?
Yeah. So what I would say is this: we don't have a dichotomy of a globe and a flat Earth. What we have is just Earth, and so our observations of Earth are the same. We don't differ in that. So there's no distinct difference from what we're saying, except for the assumed causes of the effects. And so on the one hand, you'd have Globe Earth proposing that everything's happening due to the fact that the Earth's spinning in the vacuum of space. On the other hand, we're saying that we're seeing the same effects that you are. That there's no difference, right, in the effects. But what we're stating, the underlying causes of are unknown in our specific idea here.
Different theoretical kind of explanations for the same.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, that's how you'd find the difference between them two. But like there is a false dichotomy, which is that there's a globe Earth and a flat Earth kind of debate, and I don't think that's the case. I think that it's just Earth, and it's how we're interpreting the effects. And some people would say they want to give an assumed cause to that effect, and then because of such things, it's our best guess. Then it becomes a realm of like speculation and people coming up with ideas, and then all of a sudden the globe Earth is formed, and without any evidence, it's just a presumed cause of an effect of the physics.
I'm gonna take a slight pivot, maybe, but like psychologically, do you think this affects you day to day? Like, how does this change?
Oh, absolutely. It changes your perspective because of the fact that you think that the paradigm in which you are in at the moment, the cosmological paradigm, is that the Earth is said to reside in a vacuum of space, spinning in the vacuum in a heliocentric solar system. You are now in an ever-expanding cosmos. You're a part of a greater cosmological paradigm, which entails like other planets that you can travel to. Possibly this one is being depleted of its resources, and you're going to have to leave this rock. There's impending doom from like asteroids that could strike the Earth, and there's just many different cosmological aspects as to why you might look at this place differently.
Something more down to earth, though. Something I'm thinking like, are you afraid to like eat in restaurants?
Well, it just depends what type of restaurant, man. Like, I wouldn't go to a place that's, I known as to have like certain like roaches or things. Yeah, I wouldn't eat there, but like.
But why even trust that? Like, maybe all the food they're feeding us is poison, and all the institutions, it's all part of it.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, so the overlying idea, or the impending overarching idea that wearing your tinfoil hat to everything is going to be like the way you're looking at the world. What I would say is that you can be inquisitive to a certain extent, and then there's a place where you understand where we operate as on the level of like just you and me. So you and me, like, okay, so if I have a business like in a restaurant, right, I have to follow certain rules and regulations to keep my business establishment open. And if I don't abide by these rules, it depends on what country you're in, right? But like in the U.S., you have to abide by certain rules of cleanliness and just different things, nutrition facts on the foods and just stuff that I'm putting out. But if I was to start slipping in poison or something, people would start getting sick. Investigations would start to become something done in my restaurant, and they would start finding out what's going on because there's people getting sick. There's certain things that aren't being done right. Standards are not being met. So the same type of like scrutiny that would be applied to that would be things that are happening that aren't consistent with like a healthy place to go, or not healthy, but just like somewhere you could eat without having the fear of like knowing they're giving you something bad. Let's say. because there's standards.
Our whole conception of what is healthy is kind of determined by these same, what in your view I would consider like evil.
Well, then I use that. Yeah. So you have to excuse me. I used the word healthy in the wrong instance. I didn't mean healthy. I just meant like edible. Let's say. So what is edible? So and if I'm going to because like healthy is a whole nother rabbit hole. But like if we were just to say edible, right? Like there's certain standards that like a establishment has to meet in order for it to qualify as something that would be operational for a business. And you can't just have any. You can't be serving slop or like you're gonna the state or the county would be like investigating you. Like, what are you doing? Like, no, you're not gonna have an establishment offering people this stuff that's hurting them.
They were in on it. They're all in on.
No. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. This is the part of the distinction of where I'm saying there's a place to have like the questions asked, and there's a place not to. The place not to is where there's impending regulations that are upon a certain place to keep them from like doing certain things, and then there's others that have like the goal to get you to believe or to think a certain way. So the restaurant isn't getting you to think or believe a certain way. However, the information you're gathering from whatever they're telling you about the cosmological paradigm is steering your mind into a specific way. And that hasn't been challenged at all.
It kind of makes me happy that you believe so much in government regulations.
Well, the thing about it is, like, they can give you some information about certain topics that you won't question. So, however, a restaurant is something you can look at. You can go and take the food and put it under a microscope, or you can show somebody, look, man, this thing has got like some poison in it or something. You could do something about that. However, the cosmological paradigm, you don't have the tools to do that. It's out of your it's kind of in a realm of unobtainium. So you can't obtain a rocket to go in a place. You can't go to space. You can't do some of the things that they're asking you to, like, well, we've been to space and we know, so here it is. And you're like, okay, I believe you. But on this other way, with the restaurant analogy, you can investigate as much as you want because it's somewhere tangible that's available to you. So in the realm of kind of curiosity and inquiring, you can actually investigate closer to the things that are around you that are tangible versus the places they're telling you and to believe, that the planets are made of this specific elements and gases and all kinds of stuff. And you're just, okay, you just believe them because obviously they're experts. And then when you, I just say, like, we furthered the argument with these guys, like these cosmological experts, so to speak, that everybody hinges their worldview on. They've come into this chat and we've asked them, so how do you know that the sun is made of whatever? How do you know that the planets are made of? And I'll just ask them questions, and their responses are usually the same. Well, this is our best. I know, but so have they. This is our best guess. That's what they would say. And it's
I remember doing that in the high school science classes. You can tell what something is made of by the light that it absorbs and what the light that it reflects.
I know, spectroscopy. Spectroscopy is used in this instance, but that is like still not sufficient if we're talking about something that they don't know the medium that it's in, and also the light that's emitted. They're just exclaiming that what if that's a different element than what because the idea of spectroscopy is used in a different. It's in a controlled situation here on Earth. So we have spectroscopy happening in a controlled environment here on Earth, and then we have what we would consider a different environment as to where those places or the idea of the planets are, where they would be in a different place. So you couldn't use the same controlled environment with the spectroscopy that you would as if you're looking through different mediums, and then seeing different colors, because then you're just inferring that they are what they are due to the fact that you're using things here on Earth. So
let's say something like the moon that you think is embedded in the firmament or whatever.
No one's ever said that. But yeah, that's a straw man. That's a straw man fallacy. That's a straw man fallacy to kind of input as to like divining the people's thoughts in this room. I don't think that's the correct way to go about it, because I think you should ask before you start inferring what we think.
Ecological, can I ask a question?
Please.
When you came here, is it your first time here?
No.
Okay. But when you came here, oh great! You was here more times?
Oh yeah.
Do you know that you're speaking with Miggy?
With what?
With Miggy, God.
Yeah, I see his name lighting up.
Yeah. Okay. Can you tell me if you know the answer only? Why Miggy think that Earth is flat?
I would guess because something like we cannot measure the curve of the Earth, and that water maintains level, something like that.
Oh, okay. And what do you say about that?
I think that. I mean, I disagree. I mean, I think that water can look level while not being level. And I think what the whole concept of level is level relative to what?
Yeah, it's not a. But here's the issue, though. Ecological. It's not an agree to disagree position. You're gonna have to provide some evidence as to why you disagree, and that's the issue. There isn't any evidence to the disagreeable point. It's just somebody saying "nuh-uh," and it's like, okay, I know that you said no, but now you're gonna have to provide evidence to the case. So we don't see the Earth curving anywhere, and we don't measure it curving anywhere. And if you do measure it curving anywhere, then that's the claim of the globe Earth. Well, the Earth being its oblate spheroid anyway. So now we're going to have to bring the evidence forward.
What do you think are the three top arguments the globe side says for why the Earth is round?
Why it's curving, or why it's
why do people think it's curving? Other than the propaganda.
Ships going over the curvature of the Earth. That's one. I'm just one of them. I could name a few others. Satellites in space.
Yeah.
I mean,
pictures
from NASA. Like just on and on.
Live stream ISS show you every day the curvature.
But even if you believe it's flat and it's propaganda, like there at least is some quote unquote scientific explanation for why they think it's round, right?
No, it isn't. No, they don't.
No. You don't think they have any scientific reason whatsoever?
No. Name one. Right now.
Well,
name one.
Let me just Google.
Go ahead. Yes. Scientific. Remember, scientific. So stick with scientific. What scientific reasonings do they have for the Earth being a globe? Please provide the evidence. Take your time.
No, I'm not saying that it's necessarily true. I'm just saying what are the reasons?
Oh, I know. I'm asking you to look into the question and also type it into Google and try to find out what the answer is. And then once you do, post it in live stream voice text so that everybody can see. Wait, let me give you. I don't think you can do that yet. Just give me a second. I'll give you the role. Hey, I'm like I am never afraid of like facing this question head on because I know I'm correct. And I know that sounds a bit
have something off the top of your head for why they think it's round. You really think they have given you an answer?
I just mentioned it. They think bolts are going over the curve.
Like if you're to ask like the top quote unquote scientists, they're going to give you more of a reason than that. Even if
they won't. No, they won't. No, they won't. They're telling you bolts are going over the curve. Ecological.
The problem is because
do you know this? Wait 1 second, Sasha. Do you know this, or are you? Because you're referring to people who are science communicators saying that they would have a good answer. No, they don't. They tell you bolts are going over the curve. The science communicator
answer, but they would have a answer.
The answer is the bolts are going over the curve. That's why the Earth is curved. Do you know that? That's what they're saying. If you don't, I can play a clip. It's just that easy. I'm serious. I'm dead serious.
I don't know what some have said that, but I'm sure there are also some that go into greater explanation.
No, they don't. Ecological. That's what. Here's the confusion. You guys think that somebody's out there saying some really deep things about the Earth? No, sir. They're not saying anything deep. That's the most important part of this whole thing. You know what's startling to those who actually think that there's something important that they're saying, and it's complicated. They don't say anything to that effect. Ecological. And you know what? And you're gonna be really like your hair is gonna be blown back, bro, because you're gonna be like, really? This is the whole thing that they're rebutting the idea. Like, and this is what I've been believing is that these guys have an answer and their answer is bullshit. Like, wow. Like, to you, you're going to be just completely taken back by it once you hear them say it. But I'm telling you this because we've been in this like discussion for years. We've heard their explanations. They don't have anything much more than what I just told you. And they do little boat demonstrations and over a curved surface, and it's ridiculous and it's redundant and it's a shame, to be honest with you. Like, they don't have anything better. I'm being serious. Like, you can look it up. Like, that's all I gotta say.
Scientists saying that horizon should be on 1.2 miles with 1 foot observer height. And that's scientists saying.
But they're not saying anything more than the boat's going over the curve. Like, that's the gist. And you don't know that. You're thinking like there's these scientists. They got big brains. You know, they've got stuff. They got complicated answers I wouldn't even comprehend. No, they don't.
And
it's redundant and it's simple and it'll take you by surprise if you didn't know this. But yeah, go ahead.
Do you know why boat doesn't go over the curvature? Because we are in 2022, we are not in 150 to 73.
Suck my dick.
PT Dodo 38. You're on mute. PT Dodo, why would you be so upset about this? Like, this actually hurts you in some way to hear that your Earth is not being what you told it is? If you don't have anything until I'm just looking at like the people that come into this room. It's like, you're a critically thinking person. Why would you say something so ridiculous? Would you have your own way of just like, you can talk about it if you want.
Who are you referring to?
PT Dodo 38. He's another character that's in this room here with us. And why are you so triggered, man?
Because water doesn't want to curve.
Yeah, is that what he got him triggered? He just got to come in here and blurt some obscenities?
Yeah, because when you go to the beach, Miggy, you know, and now you want to measure that curve, you know, and water it's level, you know, and then that piss you off, and then what the fuck, motherfucker, you fucking motherfucking water, why you don't want to curve? And then you come here, and then you're angry, you know.
We got no time for that, man. Like, seriously, go take your stuff to a Minecraft surfer.
But there's a whole field of geodesy, right?
Yeah.
There's a whole field of studying the shape and measurements of the Earth.
I know that, ecological, but what have we... Like, we have got no closer to the fact that they're not telling you, or they're saying something redundant. You think that there's some complicated answer, sir. There isn't. It doesn't matter how fancy you want to dress this thing up, ecological. It's going to come right back to where their explanation for their top answers are because boats are disappearing over the curvature. I'm telling you this. Like, you think that there's some guy...
On this article, there's no mention of boat. There's no boats here.
All right, go ahead. Talk to me. Speak to me. Tell me why you think that they think the Earth is curving. Go ahead.
My only point was that they're saying more than just boats.
All right, go ahead and tell me then. Where are they saying that there's more than that?
Well, I posted it in the link.
Shadows.
Okay, well, where?
Shadows, Miggy.
Shadows. Geodesy, the science of measuring and representing in temporarily varying 3D geometry, gravity, and spatial orientation of the Earth and other astronomical bodies, such as planets or circumplanetary systems. When it's called planetary geodesy, so we're talking about
compared
things.
To what? Compared to
we're talking about things
there has to be a comparison that it's based on.
Talking about things that they're making observations in the night sky about, right? So are they looking at the Earth? The Earth.
The Earth. Exactly, Miggy. Exactly.
I'm sorry.
Earth. Yes, the Earth.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Okay, so you refer to geodesy.
I'm referring to this article.
No, I know that.
The only place that anyone can make an observation from is Earth.
What is that talking about due to the fact that what I was telling you, that they're telling you about the Earth that you're standing on, and you asked me, what are the top things that they talk about? And I said, the boat's going over the curve. That's their explanation as to how the Earth's curving.
That's not in this article, anything about boats.
I know that. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, what article? The article that you brought up. What does it have to deal with the Earth's curving?
Because it's all about the shape of the Earth. The article.
No, it's not.
What?
It's the opposite.
They're looking at bodies that are listen, such as planets, right? There's an assumption here. Planets, circumplanetary systems, when it's called planetary geodesy, geodynamical phenomena including crustal motion, tides, and polar motion can be studied. So,
well, yeah, I see that you're still looking at the link and then opened it, but if you actually open it, there's a bunch of different.
Let's open it. Let's open it.
None of them has to do with boats.
There's a bunch of shit in there that has nothing to do with Earth at all.
Because it's all about.
Okay, so
it's all.
Where do you want to go? History definition. Where do you want to go? History definition, geoid and reference ellipsoid. Where do you want to go?
Well, the only point I'm trying to make is I was expecting answers like this, not just boats.
Okay, then. Like, let's see what they have to say. And
okay, I haven't read it either yet, but.
Oh, so you're telling me that you don't know what they're saying, but they're saying something interesting other than boats. Is that what you're telling me?
Well, that was my whole point. My whole point was they say more than boats most of the time.
Okay, so let's see what they say concerning the curvature of the Earth. So take me somewhere. Take me somewhere.
I mean, I'm going to read it just like you can. I mean, I have nothing to tell you.
Oh, then that means you don't know. That means you don't know ecological. So you just assumed. So you just assumed by shooting an article that somebody's going to have an explanation of the Earth having curvature, and you don't know. You don't know what this article said. You don't know what this article said.
I'm not even arguing about whether or not they're right yet.
I'm not arguing either. I'm pointing out to you the fact that you don't know, and you're pointing to an article that you think supports the idea that it's going to support the Earth's curvature. But you don't know that because you just clicked the link and you're like, well, I don't know.
Hear me out, man. I'm not saying
I am hearing you out.
Well, no,
but you're incorrect. Yeah, because you're incorrect. You're incorrect ecological.
Well, then there's no harm in just hearing what I have to say.
Yeah, why don't you just go ahead and say it? He's asking you to go ahead and say it.
You're giving us a load of crap. You're giving us a load of crap because you think that this answered the question of just like the top answer for people telling you why the Earth is curving. So you shot a link here thinking, oh, I'm going to just give them this link and that should suffice as the answer. And I'm telling you, it does not suffice as the answer. Where in this article does it tell us that the Earth is curving? And then your answer was, I just clicked the link myself. I don't know. So you don't know ecological. You're just pointing to something you think you know. So you're randomly just throwing shit at a wall and seeing what sticks. That's what you're doing. Yeah, that's what you're doing.
You shouldn't feel so threatened to hear me out.
I'm not threatened. You just don't know what you're saying. You don't know what you're saying.
And Miggy, to be honest, I heard you ask him to tell us why he thinks the Earth is a globe, and he still refuses to answer the question. This is
because I'm trying to ask a very narrow question,
and then he accused you of blackballing him or whatever. Why don't you just go ahead and answer it? Come on, tell us why we should think the Earth is a globe.
Well,
with this link.
So originally I asked you if you could give good arguments from the other side why they think it's a globe. You said the only answers they have are things like ships and boats. My only point was that's not the only answer they give.
We're past
that.
Go ahead.
Then what is the answer then? Because you're taking us to an article. All right, you're taking us to this article. Now, where in this article does it tell us that the Earth is curving at a set rate that it's supposed to be? Go ahead, take us to a place. Because you said you didn't know. You said you didn't know. So now, do you know? Did you read over this article? Do you now know?
No, let's both read it.
Oh, so you don't know. So we're back to square one. You don't know about this article.
You're right. I don't know this article.
Okay, then.
Curvature exactly.
Then why did you bring it up?
Because I brought it up because it proves that they claim more than just
boats. You don't know what it proves, sir. You don't listen. Stop. You don't know what it proves ecological. You said you just clicked on this link because you think it proves something about the Earth's curvature. And you don't know anything about this article. So I'm exposing your ignorance to the fact that you think you know what's going on and you absolutely do not.
I'm not claiming the article proves anything. I'm just saying it doesn't mention
you are.
Why you are then pointing out the article?
Because
what do you understand?
Why are you pointing out then the article if you don't want to prove anything with the article?
Exactly, Sasha. Why are you bringing it up? As your side of whatever evidence. I mean, I wouldn't say proof, but on your side, I mean, you might say, "Hey, well, I posted this article, and here's why I think this is plausible."
But you don't have any information on it. You're throwing shit at the wall and hoping it sticks. That's all you're doing, ecological.
The only thing the article does, as far as I know, is disprove the claim that boats are the only answer.
How? Where?
I bet you a dime to a dollar that I can read the article and make it more sensible than this idiot.
How and where? Stop. How and where? How and where? Show me in the article where.
No, he cannot answer. He cannot answer.
No, he needs to. He needs to answer. Hang on. I'm gonna press him because now
he said that he didn't.
Then he needs to tell me, Sasha. Sasha. He needs to tell me that. Not you. Go ahead, ecological. You need to tell me. I'm gonna press you now because you're saying that this somehow proves it. So how? Where?
Because if I do Control F and type in boat, nothing comes up.
No. How does this provide evidence for the Earth's curvature? How? Where?
I never claimed it did. I just claimed it's giving more arguments than just both.
Where? Where, sir? Where? Where?
I'd have to have time to read it.
Oh, so you haven't seen it then. So therefore you don't. So therefore you don't know. You're throwing shit at a wall and see what sticks. So please let her.
Well, it don't stick here, does it?
Yeah. You guys are don't jump in for this ecological mystic person. He doesn't know that he doesn't know right now. But that's what we're exposing right now. We're exposing the fact that you don't know.
What's the name of the guy?
Ecological mystic is the name of the person that's in here right now asking us these questions.
Did I lie now? Did I lie now?
What's the name of the guy that said because it has to be? That made the globe thing?
I don't know, but ecological mystic is pointing us to this geodesy garbage that he has no idea or understanding of. So we're trying to get to why he brought that up.
Yeah,
so we want to know
his article, and I want to hear what he knows about it.
There you go. What do you know about it, ecological? Because you're saying it says some things, and when we ask you, what does it say? I don't know.
I'm only claiming it doesn't mention boats. That was my only claim.
So what? It doesn't mention boats. What's that got to do with all the tea in China? What's that got to do with all
what happens when I post an article? When I post an article, or if I'm trying to make a point, I'm familiar with the article that I post, and then I'll read it out and give a description of why this is true and this is not true or whatever, against the article. But you just posted something randomly that, geodesy, and you just posted a Wikipedia article, and I've already read halfway through it, and you haven't mentioned anything about it so far.
Yep. So far.
Because what I was trying to do is I was trying to disprove his claim that the only arguments they give is that the ships go over the
About what? About what, ecological?
What do you mean about what?
You're saying that your only argument was that it disproves that they're not talking about boats going over the curve. What are they talking about, ecological? Do you know?
That's moving the goalpost slightly because you're the
moving the goalpost. How the hell is it moving the goalpost? You're telling me that this article disproves the fact that the top argument was that the Earth or the boats are going over the curve of the Earth, and I told you that's the top argument. That's what they all say. The science communicators are telling us this, and you're saying, no, it's not. It's not the only thing. And you brought up this article about geodesy. Do I have to remind you about what you said? Like, you can't really have that smart of a short attention span.
A simple question: if the top argument has to do with boats, and then I give you the argument,
and you brought up this article. You brought up this article saying that disproves that, and I'm asking you how.
I'll tell you. So
I'm not the opinion that this guy that posted that article hasn't even read it.
No, he hasn't. He has not read it, and yet he's posting it.
I summarized it for him in live stream voice text.
Yeah,
he's taking measurements in the real world,
it's taking me like 1 minute to go through the different paragraphs in the article, and
you guys are acting like I said that this.
Completely understand it. This guy doesn't know shit about anything
He
he's
doesn't
talking
know
about.
anything. Yeah, he doesn't.
You guys are acting like I said, here's an article that proves the Earth is round. I never said that. I only said
that's not what we're saying. We're just saying that you posted something you're ignorant about and saying that, all right, just look at this geodesy article.
Yeah, it has something in there to deal with, like the fact that they're not saying that boats are going over the curve. And I'm telling you, what does that have to do? Fine, it could talk about ducks flying in the air. Who gives a shit? What does it talk about? The top argument. The top arguments for the Earth having curvature is that boats are disappearing bottom up from the curvature of the Earth. And so when you're saying this is something else, and what does it say? I don't know. I just clicked a link and there it is. Like so, it could be a link to any damn thing that you have
that was
no
a
knowledge
really
on.
big help. That was a really big help. Thank you so much.
You guys made it a pretty extreme claim that they don't give any other reasons whatsoever.
Then what is the reason then? I'm asking you specifically, what is the reason with this argument, with this article?
Satellite measurement. I mean, they talk about satellites in this.
How did you know that? You didn't know that until you clicked it, right?
Well, that's not even in the article.
You're learning it? Okay, so what are you learning then? Tell me what you've learned.
You should have read it before you.
From the 1 minute, and not only the 1 minute, but like the moment that you clicked on it, all of a sudden your brain lit up with all this new information that you didn't know.
No, it didn't.
You didn't know anything about the article till you clicked on it, man.
That's how it works. I'd never seen the article.
That's how it works. What works, Philippe?
We can tell.
Do you think ducks are flying over a ball or a plane? Just, which one do you think ducks are flying over?
Thanks for that, Bob.
Sure.
Getting to geodesy in the article that you're bringing forward, Ecological Mystic, is that you're misunderstanding the point here. The top argument isn't this idea of geodesy. It's not. Because I'm telling you, sir, that's not been used in the. Nobody's bringing up. Well, look, guys, it's geodesy. Nobody's ever come in here saying that that's supportive top argument for the globe being what it is. They use both going over the curve. You asked me what the top argument was. I gave it to you, and now you're coming back with geodesy as in you thought you knew what you were saying, but then it turns around and finds out that you don't even know what the article's about until you. Well, I'm just reading it now, man.
I'm not asking what are the people that come in here most argue. I'm asking what are the top scientists, quote unquote, in the world think.
In the world, dude, you have.
Wait. Hold on. It's just like just like I was saying, if I post an article, I can read paragraphs or whatever and say, here's what. I don't think you know anything about this.
There's no knowledge, dude, whatsoever.
Neil deGrasse Tyson says you're not going to see the curvature of the Earth. That stuff is flat.
And to be honest, Ecological Mystic, you should be embarrassed that you posted the article and you even.
I'm embarrassed for him.
In all this time, like 5 minutes since you posted the article or 10 minutes or whatever, you haven't even looked at it. I've looked at it several times. I've been reading the whole fucking thing the whole time, And
I'm also arguing with you and talking with you at the same time.
Okay. How do you feel bad?
So what does this have to do with the curvature of the Earth? Anything here? Go ahead and point out to anything in the article then, since you read it. Go ahead. Where's the point out to?
I haven't read it yet.
Oh shit! No, here we go again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we called you out. Yeah, it's just like, what? Why should we even bother with you if you're going to post some shit that you don't even know anything about?
Bro.
Way out of pocket, dude. You're like, somebody out there has the answer. Here it is. It's in the wiki. Okay, where does it say that it has the curvature of the Earth been measured? I don't know. I haven't read it. Well, shit, dude. Why are you bringing it up? That's so retarded.
Because I thought it disproved your claim.
Who told you? Who told you that?
There it is. I thought it would disprove it. That's what the man just said. Somebody write that down. Somebody put it. I thought it would disprove, but guess what? It doesn't.
Even if he did think it was, disproved. I've spent 5 minutes looking at the article, and guess who hasn't? This motherfucker.
I don't give a shit, Smurf. I don't. It's dishonesty, bro. I don't give a shit what anybody. Smurf is like, I respect his direct and honesty. He hasn't been direct and honest. What the hell's the matter with
He hasn't even read the article he posted. So
don't give me that horse shit coming in here. I'm gonna land base anybody advocating for this gentleman right now. Don't be coming in here advocating for this idiot. Don't do that. It's apropos for the conversation because you're trying to come into a room full of critical thinkers and then show us some shit and then make some shit up and then just it says this and that and we're like, dude, what did it say? I don't know, I haven't read it.
But I'm also
it's apropos for the conversation
and with politeness.
And
those things
like what you did.
You come in here so it'd be polite. You're gonna post some bullshit that you haven't even read, and then you're gonna ask us to be polite.
That's not polite, man. What you did, like if you didn't read it, right? You can't be really arguing with us. You gotta at least read it. What you did, that's impolite. That's not.
Okay, I will accept that criticism if you can tell me what I was trying to disprove with the article. What do you think I was trying to disprove?
What do you mean what you're trying to disprove? You asked what the top arguments were for the Earth having curvature, and I said boats going over the curve. And then you retorted with, no, that's not the only thing. And I said, what else is there? And then you posted, you want me to reiterate? I will. And I will point out to you your mistakes as to why I'm upset right now. Because you said, let me bring, don't interrupt, guys. Let me finish. I know you guys want to come in here, but I'm trying to point out why Ecological Mystic was being a jerk by doing this. And everybody's like, well, he's being honest and clean. No, he's not. Okay, so when I asked him for the information, what he did was he presented this link to Wikipedia about geodesy. And then I asked him, have you read it? What does it say in there that it disproves that the fact that the top argument was that the boats were going over the curve? Well, it says so right here. Where? I don't know. I haven't read it. Oh, no shit. So now you're just throwing shit at a wall, seeing what sticks. No, I'm not doing that. Okay, then what does the article say? I don't know. Do you understand what's happening here, guys? This is the kind of stuff that they all do, and then we're just supposed to sit here and say, well, you can say whatever you want in this chat. No, you cannot. If you have information that supports your case.
Part, Miggy, it's not even a really long article to read. It's very simple to understand if you look over it.
You guys, I apologize if I offended you in any way.
No, don't apologize for offending us. Read your fucking article that you posted. Read it.
Okay. But my only point was I was only trying to disprove the claim that
and you didn't. And you didn't because you
don't know what claim I was talking about yet because I haven't finished my sentence.
But you didn't though because you said I don't know anything about the article, which means the thing that you posted was just air. You're just throwing some shit in there. Oh, does this do it for you?
I didn't know one thing about the article. I knew that it didn't contain the word boat because I searched for the word boat.
Oh my God! That's the only thing you look for.
It takes like 3 minutes. Are you slow reader? Are you like dyslexic? Which I can get if you're dyslexic. You can't.
It's hard to read as I'm engaged and listening to you guys.
Not hard to read, bro. It's really. I've just been like sitting here listening to you talk and reading the article while I'm listening.
The problem is I don't know why people come up with answers like these. Here's the answer. Where's the answer? I don't know. That's what you did, in essence. What you done in this conversation was that you inserted something as an answer, and then I asked you about it, and you're like, well, I have no idea. I haven't read it. Well, how do you know it's the answer then?
Because I thought you and me were coming together to figure out what are the top arguments globe heads give.
You gave this as one of your arguments again. Well, this doesn't say boat. Who gives a shit about what it says about a boat or not? The top argument was that the Earth was being told to us that it was curved because of a boat going over the curvature. That's the top argument.
What criteria or method are you using to come to that? That's the number one argument.
Because everyone everywhere is saying, even your supposed experts, the ones that you're, the experts are everywhere.
Mention it in this article.
Everyone everywhere.
Yeah. What is this article saying that you didn't know it said 5 minutes ago when we first started down the path? You didn't know that it said that. And you're already saying that they're not saying anything to do. The top argument for the Earth having curvature has nothing to do with boats. And now we're like, well, what does it say? I don't know. Do you understand how idiotic that is?
No, because when you say, well, what does it say? That is actually slightly moving the goalpost.
You don't even know what it said, though. That's not moving the goalpost. It's obvious to everyone here that you didn't know. You admittedly said, I don't know what it says. You admittedly said that.
Because all I needed to know was that it didn't include the word boat.
Oh God!
Yeah, you're a strange one, man.
He is a weird dude.
Everyone only uses the word boat to come to these.
I'm asking myself, Miggy, when I was in the school, when I was really, really young, 35 years ago, I was not studying nothing about geodesy, and nothing after that. Always was the ships going over the horizon. Always. And not in England, not the USA. It was in fucking Croatia.
Smooth brain. Trust me, you're anything but.
That means that we learn. That means that we learn only that information. The ships and boats going from the Columbus, and then afterwards, all the time it's going over the horizon, and you cannot see the Titanic. The Titanic stuff. How you call that? That they had that big smoke towers. You could not see because of the curvature, and then you see first it's coming behind the curvature.
What pisses me off to no end is when people come in here and say this, they have evidence and they have proof, and they've never seen an article. They just type something in and then presume to have like knowledge on it. And when I ask them and they don't have knowledge, you're gonna irritate me to no end.
That's understandable.
So don't do that. Don't post some shit in here that you have no knowledge on and then presume to say, well, this is the answer to your question when you have no freaking clue as to what the article is saying at all.
I understand that frustration, but the only thing I claimed about the article to have knowledge of is that it didn't claim to have the word boat in it. I didn't say I knew what the article said.
God, bro.
Yeah, we heard you say that fucking 10 times.
Oh my God, I don't know.
If that's the case that you heard me, then why do you...
Yeah, have you read the article yet? Why don't you fucking shut up and read the article?
Oh, shit.
There is no boat word in the article.
So what? Like, that wasn't even the...
No, I was just going over the second verse or reverse of geodetic problem. They were talking about how the angles, when it comes to the right angle triangle versus, what. I'm reading the article, and this guy hasn't even taken the time to actually do it.
Yep. He has no knowledge, and the reason why I kept going at it is because I didn't want him to read it because he doesn't know what it says in there. I wanted to keep saying it.
Reading it will take some time, and I'm fine if we all want to do that, but I can't.
I know, but you already thought it was a retort to what I was asking.
Well, the only thing I thought it was a retort for was that the only argument Globeheads give
because somebody else told you. That's why.
Well, no, because I searched for it in the article and it wasn't there.
Oh, the boat's going over the horizon.
Yeah. He said that's the only argument they give. Scientists everywhere in the world, the only argument they give is boats in the horizon.
Well, you haven't been listening.
I didn't say only argument. That wasn't the case. Yeah, you said top. You said top. You said top. You said top. You said top argument.
Yeah, top argument. You said.
No, I asked you. Isn't there more?
Argument.
And you said no. That's the only one. That's the only one.
No, you didn't say like that. Ecological only one. You said the top one.
You're moving the goalposts.
No,
that's moving the goalposts. What you done?
You're right. I did
familiar. Who is this guy? His voice sounds familiar.
I did ask what are the top ones, but then I asked if there's any more besides the.
No, you did. Don't lie now. You
don't become a liar in my live stream, man. You're not only a liar, but you're becoming somebody who's a sophist. Like you're saying that you know some information.